Meow, meow, meow. Behind mom. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, mom. I'm speaking with you in the ethers. Jamani loafing. Let's see that dita. Hi, mama. I know I should have did my opening prayers before I hit record. Hi. How you doing? I'm in this forgiveness group. I know that was your big thing, forgiveness. And I could, a lot of the ladies answered the question with their thumb, with the text and writing the thingy. But I get thumb fatigue. The word fatigue is big now. Whew. Remember I was going to name one of my books? I still have that manuscript. Gosh, writing is so therapeutic. The writing teacher said that. Write whether you get published or not. Just get it out of you. And one of the books I started, Fatigued. Remember, long before this word is so popular now, and some not in a good way. Can you imagine they have something called black fatigue? Is if we had the power to steal land and steal people, to enslave on the stolen soil, to force them to work for free, and well, that's enslaved. But you know what I'm saying, Mom? Yes, I'm still quirky. You were quirky too. I got it honestly. Anyway, so what they mean? They fatigue with our existence? I don't know. Well, we definitely don't lynch people and harass them and brutalize them based on their skin color. Oh God, Mom, they have this thing called TikTok now. Did you make the transition before TikTok, before the advent of TikTok? I don't know. Oh, you only did Facebook. I gotta see when TikTok started. No, but they just black TikTok. No, I digress, Mama. Yes, I'm still not cogent when it comes to communication. Blame it on the moon I was born under. I share healed. But yeah, it is 8/28, 2025. At 3:28 a.m., 28 cycles. The moon, mama moon. Uh, Today is Barry's birthday. Barry, you still owe me $15. Never mind. I dated Barry briefly back in days of Virgo. Yes, I still love astrology, Mama. Since a little girl, you already know that. Whew, should I turn this up? I usually like to play a little music. Oh, I got some tea in case I get parched. But I did turn it up. I probably need the tea anyways. We're okay. Still pushing through, Mama. Hubby. Let me answer these questions, Mama, because I've been and told you about. I feel like the ancestors, y'all know. Especially all I do for the ancestors, y'all probably know, but I'm communicative, so. Remember when I wasn't? When I was quiet and mute from age 0 to 7.5, and he took me to the speech doctor to see why I wasn't talking? And he was like, oh, she's fine. She just don't want to talk. Salute, salute, salute. Mm, mm. I was sleeping. I just woke up. Was this Thursday? It's Thursday. All right, Mama. But it's a great group I was invited into by lovely Iya Ayodele. Oh, Mom, I first met her in 2015. We had come to Queens and to a breathing group in the neighborhood, and I think that was no, it was men back there. I brought hubby. Yeah, I was about to say. I think that was an all woman circle too. No, it was men back there, but it was a brief meeting. We didn't exchange numbers or anything. I bought some books. Some ladies had their books on hand back then. That's how I knew it was 2015. I had to find the books I bought because usually I'll ask the author to inscribe it and date it. So I found one of the books and the date was there. I met her in 2015. Just synchronicity. Who's on your path and whom you're supposed to meet, and a lot of the women back there went to the Ian Van Zandt School in Maryland. What did they call? Oh, I want to go too, but I just got to get the money, the spare money to do it. I think Miss Iyanla still does that school. Well, um, gotta stretch my brain to remember the name. But it was just a lovely setting back there. And and it was 2015. Fast forward to I met her through Bruce. I cannot think what. She feels like I've known her 3 years now. But anyway, but it's just been a lovely, lovely connection and friendship. And she invited me into this great portal. I was about to call it school. Well, I guess everything is school. One of my astrology teachers used to, Mama I affectionately call her. She used to always say, that you have no enemies, and I don't know, she quoted it from someone, but I first heard it from her. You have no enemies, and you have no, similar to you, because she's in your age group. You had on, yeah, Facebook friends, yeah. Um, yeah, she's in the same age group, I believe, yeah. So I would come to you seeking advice, and then you would hear me out with no interruption, then get real quiet and say, especially if I'm telling you about some guy, and you would go, very calm, I don't want anybody that don't want me. And I'm looking at you like, is that all the feedback you got? I get it now. I'm grown. I'm granny grown, hell. Heck, heaven. Okay. But I would look at you as that's the only feedback you got? And you repeat, I don't want anybody that don't want me. So I'm older to wisdom. I'm like, well, alrighty. Ouch. Okay. So when I would confide in Mama I, because most of our conversations is based on astrology, but we would, she would invite her to our house. Her astrology classes were so cool in the backyard, just awesome memories. Learning astrology from her, and she learned it from Isabel Hickey. But great titans in astrology. Oh, Ashe Cosmos. But you know, one time, talking to her about something that wasn't astro based per se. Of course, I would tell her the signs of the people involved, and then she would, like you get quiet. Maybe this is a baby boomer thing to how you give advice to the youngins. I don't know, but she would get quiet and look at me and say, "You have no friends and you have no enemies, only teachers." Isn't that profound? I may have shared it to you with you, shared that with you back then. I don't know. You have no enemies and you have no friends, only teachers. Meaning we learn from each and every encounter in person, for the better or worse. At one point, this was in an email, not face to face with her. At one point, she typed that back, and I typed back, "Okay, are the same toxic teachers teaching the same toxic message?" And she would type back, "Yes." No, I say, Mama, I gotta visit her Facebook. See how she doing. I haven't been on Facebook in so long. I digress because I want to get to the questions because the ladies going to want the answers, and like they probably we have to sit and listen to talk to her mama. They seem spiritual, so I don't know if they'll be weirded out by speaking to their ancestors. Okay, let me get to these questions, Mama. Uh, and they could fast forward 8 to 8:23. I'll tell them in the caption. Fast forward. Anyway, part of my loquacious, verbose, pardon, quirkiness, all that, just pardon. Okay. Each classroom, I digress. I told you I ain't coaching. Bear with me. Each classroom had at least one of me. One of my spiritual teachers say, "Yeah, raspberries." Yeah. Mean people say ditzy and whatever, but it's looking at Sinclair, well, her and Erica Alexander, Kim Coles. They have this beautiful podcast, Mama, on YouTube, Living Single, and Kim Coles went over the Sinclair frequency, and she mentioned Chrissy Snow, Edith Bunker. I don't think she mentioned Rose Nyland or Vera of Alice. That is a, well, I know because I am a Hioka empath, and I study Hiokas, and that's a sacred clown. And Mama, never mind. We probably went over this when you was here in the physical, but the teacher was like, each classroom had one. If you remember, and I'm like, it's showing up dead. Not the class clown, because sacred clown and class clown is something else. Well, those could be Hiokas too. But she said, no, a raspberry is different. Because I was asking her, how come I'm cool with other bubbly people, even as a little girl, other bubbly girls, and now other bubbly women, we're cool, but we never got close. Anyone I'm close to don't really necessarily have this Edith Bunker frequency. And she was like, because it'd be too many raspberries. Never mind. Never mind. It's a book I'm working on, Too Many Raspberries. Yeah, shout out to the bubbly bunch in the world. I know all the hell we done been through. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, Mama, where was I? Let me get to the questions. Okay, they got to fast forward 10, 20, 10, 20. Okay, here's the questions in this forgiveness group, which is just beautiful. Remember how I used to say, send it to the sea of forgiveness? You were a Christian, so you also say, just give it to the Lord. We're all God's children. He knows better than we know each other. But most often you say, I send it to the sea of forgiveness. Send it to the sea of forgiveness. Yeah, SEA, sea of forgiveness. And I thought that was so cool. I never heard anyone say that but you. And call it placebo, but it works. And you send the frequency someplace else. In spiritual communities, they do return and send it. They send it back to where it came from. But and the evil people know you're going to do that because it's popularized, return to sender. But now you're in the game. They done lassoed you into their vicious game, and you're doing ping pong pettiness, and it's just stupid. Oh, sorry, I don't want to get pissed off with haters. I don't know. So you're not metaphysical. That way, but I guess being a melanated woman, you are. Even if you well, remember what Godfather told you? Anywho, Mama, he was like, "You're us. You're us. You." And this is not his opinion. He's Arumli is talking. Okay, he said, "You're us. You just don't practice in this lifetime." Like it gotta be true because I'm all ether out and in. Okay, I share ether, but anywho, the sea of forgiveness. So your basic ethos in raising us was you gotta forgive to feel better. You gotta let it go. Send the energy somewhere else. And that was the sea of forgiveness. Okay, I like that, Mama. But okay, they gotta fast forward 12 minutes in. I gotta jot this down. Some people don't have patience with me and you chit chat. No, hold on, salute the tea. Cinnamon tea, Mama. I should say 12:12 in honor of Iya Deli. Fast forward 12:12. Okay, here we go. Ashe. All right. This is the first question posed to all the ladies, Mama. I think it's over 50 of us. Just wonderful. Um, I don't get much action on this channel, but if you're John and Jane Q public, enjoy. Especially if you're seeking if you're I don't know how the algorithm would do it. Forgiveness videos. Yeah. All right. And Mama videos. Dear Mama. Ashe Tupac. And Mama Queen Afeni. All right. Ashe. Okay, here we go. Question one. In what ways have I internalized my mother's unhealed pain and how it is still shaping my choices today? Mom, I didn't realize you had unhealed pain until I started getting readings. Then I would come home and ask you, Mom, da 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 da. And you would look at me spooked, like, how do you know that? I mean, well, I get readings. And I don't think you want to, lead a life that makes you look perfect, which garners a lot of haters. I don't think that was your intent. Well, I give readings. I know it wasn't. Your intent was not to trauma dump. In your mind, if I'm meeting someone new, the energy should feel fresh and new. I don't think. Also, you're like, I think friendship has. No, I know it has the word friend in it. So shouldn't friendship be friendly? This beautiful idealistic thing. Some people call it rose color. Looking at life with rose color glasses. And yeah, I don't think you wanted to project your insecurities on people. But being that that's a common thing that many people do, you may give off the air of perfect. And, as people say, ain't nobody perfect. You ain't she a goody two shoes. Ain't nobody perfect. But your goal was not to bring them your shadows. Your goal was to bring the sunshine to the room. So some people appreciate that, some don't, because it was perceived as phony, not knowing your natal chart. Like I know your natal chart, all that air in it. No, you're social and light, and gosh, well, that's what heavy energy. What's the Rumpelstiltskin? Remember that story in elementary school, in which you're a mean third grade teacher. My third grade teacher was mean too. I'm like, what is this part of the DNA cycle? What the hell going on? I digress. Because the books I read spoke about your books, your college textbooks, and you take me to school with you. I sit in the back with crayons and snacks and color brick and meet other little kids. And I wish I remember those little kids' names and see if they on Facebook. Oh, I digress. But all the kids in the back, mamas couldn't get babysitters, and oh, mama, our Harlem days I hold near, especially the West Side. When we moved to the East Side of Harlem, just moving. Now I know you should get elbows before you move. I'm like, why is this happening? Remember what happened when we moved to Queens? Oh my God! This would be in a memoir, John and J.Q. publicly be like, well, what happened when you moved to the East Side? And what happened? And the Jefferson song, like, moving to the East Side. We singing this, walking over to the new apartment. I cannot believe. But now in IFA, you have to get an elbow before you move. I don't know. Just how sacrifices are. Oh, mama. I couldn't believe what happened when we walked into the new apartment. Remember, I was like, let's go back. Let's go back to the West. Let's go to our old place. He was like, no, I didn't renew the lease. I let the apartment go. Oh. Then we on the train going to Queens, and that happened. We're going to a house in Queens. And just, oh, mama. It'd be the memoir, John and JQ, public listening. If you're curious, like, well, what the hell done happened? Anyway, back to these questions. Oh, let me put my glasses on. Here's the Bible. Shout out to JP. What was his name? Oh, he's a comedian mom from Philly, and I got that from him. Pure Survival. It cheers me up, and I haven't seen one of his videos in a minute either. But yeah, you gotta. Even Andrew Caldwell. I click on who cheers me up. Lift spirits. Okay. Oh, salute some little hot tea. Oh. Papa getting better, mama. Oh. I've been heavy on that ancestor altar. Y'all know what he going through. But I digress. Love you much. I'll talk more about him at that altar. But okay, number one. You already know your daughter. Okay, let me go back. One, in what ways have I internalized my mother's unhealed pain and how it still is shaping my choices today? Well, firstly, is subconscious. Your unhealed pain, heck, my unhealed pain is a subconscious thing. You just go into survival mode. And in racism, gosh, I wish I could find that video now. Oh, you already know, because they was talking about then. They think we don't feel pain. But they was usually, this isn't even a metaphysical video. These are racist videos speaking about racism in the medical field. Oh, well, black people don't feel pain. This is, and then when we speak about the pain we feel, oh, you're complaining. And mama, not that you're a pale face racist, but sometimes I'm like, well, why would I tell her? How's that gonna help me? Um, I don't. Baby boomers, like I went through worse than you did. And I got out of the mud, and what are what are you complaining about? But I just relied on diaries and group therapy when I had health insurance and paid the copayment before the copayment started going up. Because I'm like, okay, I can't go to mama with this. But I get it now. Your logic is, I'm still made it, and I went through hell too. So why are you complaining? But uh, uh, your unhealed pain, I'm not even sure if you resolved it. Because the era you come from, if you get your education, your college degree, you get a job, you got a house, this American dream. I thought it was so cool. Your house was 32,000. You got a house at 32 years old, and it was 32,000. I always thought that was so cool. Lord have mercy, I was playing 32 for a minute there. I anywho, I love when we went to Queens and I kept walking past the house. He was like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "We're going to a house." She was like, "This is it." I'm like, "Huh?" Oh, that house looks scary. It's all outdoors. I thought I'm a little girl. What was like 9.5, 10. I'm thinking the house gonna look like the Brady Bunch, or at least like Archie Bunker, because TV as a little kid is so powerful. Hell is powerful when you're grown and watching that thing. Remember the movie The Box? We saw. Oh God, Mama used to always go to the movies. That's just you, me, and you. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to the movies, just me. And you. You have other children, but we're so spaced out in age. We all feel like only children, I would imagine. I've said this to my siblings. Oh God, it's hot. I had to cut the fan off, Mama, because the candle will go out with the ceiling fan on. Hold on. I'm sweating. This is good. Chubby's all outdoors. I need to sweat. Hold on. But the sweat in your eye and you get salt in your eye. All right. All right. Well, you know I'm quirky but harmless. Well, somebody effing with me. Yachty. Just okay. Let me keep the focus. Um. All right. So I don't initiate hostilities. You know that. Remember when you called me jovial? When you was on the train, Amtrak, coming back from some church conference. I don't know, Mama. And me and my friends, they were going through something at Dev's house, and they was like, describe me with one word. I'm like, it takes at least 7 words. I would say 12 because the 12 houses in your natal chart. I say 7 words at least. And I'm tussling with the friends. I was in my 30s back then. It was fun. And then they was like, we're sticking with one. I think they was looking at the magazine article. Describe each friend with one word. It was a pretty cool moment. And they called me gregarious. Gregarious Greer. And I found one word for them. But I still, there's uptown. I was on the train going back to Queens. And I'm like, I still think you at least 7. Because, I'm ever natal chart centric. I'm like, yeah. Personalities are, we're multifaceted because it's 12 houses. So I'm thinking, so I get home and I call you on your cell phone and I could hear the train. It felt like you seemed like you was having an enchanting time on that train. I don't know. And I was like, well, I asked you when you get home. You was like, no, ask me now. And I said, can you describe me with 7 words? You don't have to expound, just 7 words. Some of them adjectives hurt my feelings, but what could you do? And I didn't interrupt you because you can't interrupt it. You're not playing the game. But one of the words you said was jovial. That warmed my heart, Mama. Thank you. You said jovial. Okay, let me You say I'm jovial. Nothing else matter. What the hell else anybody else got to say? Especially detractors. Ugh. Mom, I don't initiate hostilities. I don't. I know my natal chart. There's nothing in that first house. My first house is empty. I have no business initiating nothing. Especially hostilities. The first house is ruled by Aries. Mars rules Aries, and Mars rules hostility. So if there's nothing there, I have nothing to be initiating in that type of a sphere, if you will. I digress, Mom. Okay, here we go. Um, internalize. Well, the way DNA work, mitochondria DNA, your mom, as Yana used to repeat on her show, you marinated in her body for 9 months. Paraphrase. So if that ain't internal, I don't know what the hell else is. You know what I'm saying? Pure survival. Um. Oh, Mama. Then what you went through when you was pregnant with me, delivering Avon and Harlem. The 2 Dolphins, remember they chased you? No, it's not funny, Mama. They was like, that's the Avon lady. Go get her shit. I guess, were they going to steal the cosmetics, Mama? You was like, oh my God. No, Mama, I love you. You're just as quirky as me. He was like, I dropped all my Avon bags and ran to my car in high heel boots, and I was running. I'm like, why are you in heels pregnant? It's the 70s. I was a foxy lady. I'm not pregnant, Lord Jesus. But I'm glad you got away with us, and me and you and the tummy, and you drove off. You should have mowed down. No, I don't say mow down. Run over those things. Forgive me, I didn't mean no harm. Oh, God, Harlem in the 70s. Lord. Oh, no, the 60s. Well, darn it, the precipice of the 70s. Such good music. But you got away. But I'm just thinking of the central nervous system. Did I say nervous? It's wee hours in the morning. My tongue getting thick and lazy. And let me take another sip of this tea here. And my parched. What is a novice? I know it's a novice. No, because the way I get my downloads, quirky people get dope cosmic downloads. Especially if you got a surplus of melanin in natural womb. According to the spiritual classes I sat for. No offense to anyone listening, John and JQ public. But, so, studying biology, not just metaphysical study, that type of upset like that, your baby feels that. And not only do we have so much air in our chart, Mama, which adds to the nervousness, the anxiety, and the downside of air. The high side of air is intelligence. I'm not tooting our own horn. Yours was definitely academia, Bible study. Every now and again, you'll wonder about the metaphysics, especially since my godfather told you, no, you're one of us. You say, no, I'm a Christian. In this lifetime, shout out to Godfather. Love you, Padrino. I shall. All right. In what ways have I internalized? I think my mother's unhealed pain. I think shutting down, but you were social to the end, so to know good people, them card players, mama. Pure spiritual readings, only two of them cared about you. The others just, use your house to play cards and carry on. Potluck, I just, I don't want to talk about them card players, mama. The way they show up in readings, dear God. Well, you already know. One reading said your mom is mad at two of them, a couple, and oh, mama. And you never had people in your house like that, just twice a week. I thought y'all was playing cards house to house. Why your house got to be twice a week? I digress. My mother's unhealed pain. So there's pain from the man who wrote the book, the higher fit of 100. Oh my gosh, because allegedly, but you got away from him, so it was attempted. So it's just so much what you went through to initiate into that organization, and I'm like, how did it better your life going through that? John and JQ Public, if you're thinking it's uh, sexual, no, but just as violent. And my mother wasn't violent. And I'm like, what is the reward for going through all that? I don't know. You went through so much, and then with the ex-boyfriend and his violent asses, that bitch you made, nigga. Edit, well, I'm not monetized. Oh, Jesus. I don't think I'm holding a grudge against your ex and grandma's ex. I don't know. Hell, my ex. I just, uh, I don't get testosterone abusing estrogen. I just don't understand the science and the logic in that. Insecure, You can't beat me with words and intelligence, and you reduce the physicality knowing you have more testosterone. Am I pronouncing it right? Testosterone. My tongue is thick and lazy. If you can hold me, take a note. I guess I internalize it like you did. Education. Just get into books and studies and diary and journal and writing. Every writing teacher, one or two writing teachers say the same thing. No. Every writing teacher I've ever had, I took writing classes with the Learning Acts, college courses, of course, writing. College is writing papers and papers, but most of those, not most, many of those classes are writing. They want to know, who are you? Life experience papers, and what you've been through. These professors want to know. They want to know. So all of them have said writing is therapeutic. I'm like, golly gee. My fifth grade teacher said it. I shade him. I love her. That's my best teacher. In all of elementary school, it's her. Maybe all of schools across the board, junior and high. No, my second high school though. No, but no. She's the best teacher across the board. College too, because she loved us. You could feel it. Oh gosh, you met her mama. Remember the fire drill? They walked the kids just down the block from the school, and that our house right there. And I raised my hand. You mind if I just go home right now? Because they walk you back to the school to dismiss you properly to your parents and have it go. You walk home or whatever. I didn't. Why have to walk back to the school? My house right here. She was like, "You live right here." Yeah. You live right here. Yes, ma'am. Right here. You live right here. I love you, Miss Lewis. I love you. I mean, yeah. So why she repeated? She kept repeating it like Felix told Oscar at the cabin. This is all you wrote. This is all you wrote. She was repeating like that. Oh gosh. Or how Raj was asking Rerun, you pray to a head of cabbage. You pray to head of lettuce or was it cabbage? That episode was Mama D. Oh God, D Mama Daniel Spencer. Do y'all see? Yeah, do y'all see the celebrities? I don't remember. Subconscious mind. Remember how they used to compare me to her? Even when I was little. She from Harlem. Some say the Bronx. I'm like, the Bronx. No, Deep was from Harlem, but they from the Bronx. I don't know. They must have read her book because she wrote it in her book. But we Harlemites know she was from Harlem. Maybe she lived a little while in the Bronx. I don't know. But when I read, I'm like, the Bronx. When they say you can't believe everything on the internet, they ain't tell no daggone lies, mama. They sure didn't. Because we know Daniel Spencer Harlem, okay? The way I was compared to her all the doggone time, yeah, please. I love her though. Especially now, my younger years, as an adult. Every now and again, I may hear it. Like, you look like Dee. I guess depending on having my hair or whatever. I love her so much. Anyway, especially after I read her memoir, when her stepfather was on the hood when they went to that movie that mama, Lord, the ladies ain't got patience for this, but it's fine. My therapy is my therapy. Y'all ain't got to listen. It's okay. But maybe they fast forward 30, 30 minutes and 30, 40. I got to write that down. 30, 40. Whew. I internalized your unhealed pain by doing the same. And that rhymed. Just delving into education. Yeah. I mean, the aim is to delve into it to, I would tell myself, keep educating myself to heal the pain. Self-help books. If I didn't have any money, I sit on the floor in Barnes and Noble or remember Borders. And I used to go to the one in Twin Towers too. Just, gosh, I digress. But even if you don't have any money, just bookstores, you can sit on the floor and read, and it just, gosh, a peaceful bookstore. Just the same way you did. Education will free you. Education. And this is not you talking. You're walking your talk. I'm watching you. So I'm like, okay, that's the way to heal. Books, school. Okay, fine, cool. Even though I wasn't a fan of academia, sometimes, unless I liked the teacher. If the teacher felt like a kindred spirit, I would go to, oh yeah, there were people wondering, well, what happened with the fifth grade? That I was late a lot. I'm still a tardy tart. I'm just late. I try. I really try to be on time. I don't know. People call it colored people time. You mean yachty people time? But yeah, I'm just, since what Chris Rock said, late for school, late for work. One of his stand-ups. It's the truth. I was late for school and I was late for work. But I meant no harm. And in therapy, they'll say, "Oh, that's passive aggression." No, it's not. People get mad at passive aggression, or then they get mad at aggression. I'm like, what? What? Because passive aggression is lukewarm. The Bible speaks against that. I'm like, in the realm of Christianity, not being late for work. Anyway, and Mom, you were never late. You got an award for being on time and not absent for 11 years. I'm like, why they pick 11 versus the 10 years? You would think 10, would the late George Carlin said, 10, very satisfying number. I guess it's our 10 digits on our hands and toes. I don't know why they gave you the award. I was happy for you. I was like, Mom, that's pretty cool. I was amazed. Like, you were never late in 11 years. She was like, or absent. Like, where do I get this late thing? Just tardy, Mama. Oh, I'm tardy for parties. So tardy. Anyway, so the Miss Lewis couldn't believe I lived that close and was late every day. She was like, I'm picking you up tomorrow morning. I'm going to keep picking you up. And teachers get to school earlier than the students. Remember? You was like, you got to be to school at 7. She going to pick me up. Why is she picking you up? It's like you went the way I was late because you had to be out the door to go to work earlier. You got everything ready, the breakfast, the farina. Oh, Mom, you made good farina. You didn't eat it, though. You was like, I don't like that. You made good oatmeal, but you didn't eat that either. And I remember thinking, I said it to Nancy, who was a boarder once. Well, family. Uh, oh, Mama. You know why I did that? You know why I did that to her room. Because she used to buy fast food only for her daughter, and I didn't think that was fair. You wouldn't do that to kids. Did I admit this to you while you were here? I don't know. Oh, this is not a confessional. Just then I looked at Columbo and Matlock on God TV and children, Jesus. But anywho, but she would go upstairs with the food, and you had a rule no eating in the room, but you let her eat in the room because you said she's grown and she pay rent, and she only bring fast food, Burger King, big shopping bags of stuff for her daughter and her niece. Is Nikki her niece? I don't know. But she thought I did it because I was jealous of her daughter. I was like, I'm not jealous of her daughter. No, I got long hair too. The hair, what is it to be jealous of? I'm mad you buy food only, but mom, you would buy food for all kids. And when you're a little girl, you think all adults act alike. You don't think that that's special, that's unique. Yeah, you if you're gonna buy fast food, you buy it for all the kids, not just yours and there's other kids in the house. So I'm like, why is she doing this? Not that that absolved me for when that was 12. I think she still held a grudge against that. I apologized to her. I sent her a gift and everything. I let Man read the letter first. You know, it's his kid. You know, I digress. The lady's got to fast forward 35 minutes in now. Okay. I internalized your unhealed pain and mine via books and education. I'm still doing it that way. Is there any other way to do it? So yeah, via books and education, and it's still shaping me today, shaping my choices today by books and education. Someone just recommended Bell Hooks. I read her, but I'm like, did I read that one? A book about racism. This sister, calling her a sister. I might as well, but she's called Caucasoid Becky, but she's talking to her other Becky friends. She was like, don't click off. You're gonna listen. Like you want men to stay and listen when we're talking about misogyny. Yeah, and then she's talking about. She said you have to read women books by black women. Oh, mom, do y'all get to see screens and stuff? What do y'all get to see? A lot of Tupac psychic videos. Now one with Malcolm. Oh shit, Tupac. I shit Malcolm Jamal Warner. They're saying he Malcolm. I'm like, well, where you get a nickel from? This is Sloan Bella. Mom, do y'all get to see screens? What we're hearing is y'all can see us through like screens, like TV. But she said he put a nickel in something. He was able to see it. See, I was like, this is something. I don't know, but yeah, this Becky lady on TikTok, she was recommending books by sisters, and I was like, I got to get that Bell Hooks book. I don't think I read that one, but just telling her fellow Beckies that you must read books by Black women. You must. I'm like, they don't read Iyanla. I think they would start right there. But shame. But yeah, how did I get on books now? Oh, how I is still shaping my choice today. Books. I'm hoping I'm answering this right. Oh, and I'm emotionally unavailable. You were too, but I don't fault you anymore because of your mom being emotionally unavailable. From what you told me, you said she was mean spirited too. So the more I learned about your mom, blessings be upon her, Ashe grandma, and now we know why. I went to Harlem. I was writing your memoir. I hope your last one get that thing published. It's still in your computer at the house. I think he's dating. I don't know. If I find it, I'm like maybe on my old computer. I don't know. Like you gotta publish that book, Mama. And I would have wrote it gratis when you paid me for typing it up, and because you spoke on the tape recorder and I typed out what you said and things of that nature. And ironically, we were inspired by the man who wrote The Hierophant of 100th Street. He was like, he wrote this book. I'm like, about the neighbor on the book. He writes very well. He's a Libra, and he's getting bad reviews, but I get the sense these are ex-girlfriends in the reviews. You was like, why you get that sense? I don't know. It just feels too personal because this man writes very well. They're saying that. Oh, just because you write well doesn't mean your book is good. Is that not personal? I don't know. You was like, well, he's handsome. He was handsome back in the 50s and the 60s. Very handsome. He probably still is. Um, Mom, I digress. But in that conversation, we were in Connecticut. I was like, Mom, you should write your memoir. I was like, why? I'm regular. It's nothing excitement. I'm like, no, Mom, don't think that way. You gotta speak into a tape recorder and I'll type it. Let's do it. And we did. And it was my honor. And then you cash at me. I was like, what is this? He was like, for your labor. I'm sure typing it's work, right? You're back and you're sitting up and you type. I was like, oh my goodness. Then I wrote Aunt Glow's book. Same thing. I said, just tape yourself and send me the recordings and I'll type it. And she cashed at me the same. No. It wasn't cash app. She sent a check. The same amount you gave. That's why I called you. Did y'all have a conversation? Did you confer with each other? You was like, no. The irony of the same exact amount. I was like, oh, damn. Maybe she baby born too. I'm like, maybe that's the generational logic. Like, okay, you type this up. This feels like about this amount of money. I was so take it. I'm so happy. I was I was broke too. I needed it. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for everything. But I'm hope number one, I hope I answered it correctly. Unhealed pain. Yeah, I just turned to books. I just and I'm emotionally unavailable. All I got is friendly frequency, and I think that definitely affects my offspring. Friendly or angry? Where's the middle ground? I have to figure this out. As far as family is concerned, I don't seem to have an anger button for strangers. Or if I don't love you and I didn't invest love, I don't know. It's hard to get. I don't. That's why I don't understand racism. How could you have passionate anger for a ranked stranger? We used to talk about this. Remember? You used to say if you don't like a person or people, why are you drawn to them? To be magnetized to people that's supposed to repel you, it is. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, it sure doesn't. If I don't like you, I'm staying the hell on the way away, as far away as I can. But yeah, emotionality in me, I definitely get that from you. My father's stoic too. He's not emotionally. I mean, could you just be born non-emotional? I'm friendly, but if the friendliness isn't enough, I just get away from the person. I part ways, peacefully and civilly. Because, like, what are they trying to extract? I start thinking about vampires in the movie Sinners. Like, what are you trying to extract? If civility and being cordial isn't enough, what type of time you on? Vampire time? Oh, Lord, let me take a sip of this. Oh, never mind. But I hope number one, succinct and not for just the group's sake, but for your sake and mine too. Yeah. All right. I know life gets life. You people life procreates. Even in nature, you know, animals they procreate. Life procreates, and in DMX, what he said about his mom, and watching some of his interviews helped me with the mother wound, and I love DMX. I share Earl Simmons. Mom, not that you were like DMX mom, but I did get beatings and well, well after you saw Roots for the second time you stopped. You like this is where we get this barbarism from the slave plantation. Oh God, I can't hit my babies anymore. I'm like, oh, thank God for Roots. Okay, you retiring the belt. Oh Lord, that's the one thing good the Roots did in our household. You put that belt up. But then I still got punished 3 and 4 and 5 weeks, maybe a month. I'm talking about being in my room with cookies and books and can't look at TV, just cookies, snacks, and books. That's why books is the outlet. As much as I was on punishment and could look at TV, then I had to write a book report to prove to you I read the book. Oh, I don't regret it now because I'm a book addict now and a writer. Microphone fiend. What do you say book? Libros? Libros. Libros fiend. How you say fiend in Spanish? Anyway, Mom. And what in Spanish they put the fiend first and then the Libros? Libros, Libra. You see that? Seventh house, Okay, number two. Let's move on to number two, Mama. Number two, what do I still need to forgive my mom for in order to obtain, maintain, and sustain inner peace? Well, of course, the minute I felt discounted or devalued, how they call it in therapy, is when you let your sister intercept the whiz ticket. I was 7. Yes, you made it up to me. Yes, you made it. Now get this. I didn't feel devalued when the two attempts. Well, it was one physical attempt at 5 years old. For some reason, I didn't feel like you devalued me because you never knew. You were at work and school. You would explain I have to go to school to get a better job, and I have to work to pay the rent. And I don't even know why I was home alone. I don't even know. It's still a mystery, because at this point, on 116th Street is you, me, my older brother. Just the two of us. You didn't have more babies by then, and your sisters, your younger sisters. You're the oldest, as you know. Why am I home alone? Where was everybody? I'm the youngest in the house. I don't know. At 5 years old, but he didn't follow through. John and JQ Public, it'll be in the memoir. But that was my first sobering moment. It was just I don't know. Before then, it was a lot of fun. You worked at the movie theater next to Apollo, so we got to see a lot of movies and a lot of Apollo concerts too. You take me and I'm about to say I don't want to say his name. What's his name in my memoir? Luke. Me and Luke to concerts and you would lose your just screaming just out of Temptations, whoever was there. And he would take one look at you cutting the food for these crooners and balladeers and go, "Come on," and snatch me up and we walk back home. I'm like, "Shit, mommy know we're leaving?" Oh, she'll know when she finished screaming. He did not like you screaming for those singers on stage, mom. I know, but it's a son thing. My sons didn't want me dating either when I divorced their dad, so definitely a son thing. But prior to that, that moment, that sobering moment, and he was handsome, looking like Mad Dog in a Good Times episode. I don't even know who he was. I don't know. I'm like, was the door left ajar and he just walked in our apartment? I don't know. John and JQ Public, if you're interested, the details to be in the memoir. You're like, well, where's the memoirs on the Amazon? No, I ain't published yet. Lord have mercy. You know how many things I done wrote? Oh gosh, I've been writing since the '90s. I don't know. Then I self-published a novella. Author House still owes me for $400 off the house. I know you're iUniverse now. Why you change your name? How many people do you owe? Allegedly. You gotta say allegedly, legalese. Like they done probably invested the 400 and flipped it. You gave me back my base $400. Okay. 31608. If you look, what is your number? 31608. I like my $400, please. Oh, email in description box and remember to type the thing in there. I should type in my email. I don't want no spam and haters. In any event, you helped me with that novella, Mama, too. You was like, you shouldn't have to pay a publishing company. It's legit. They will call the Vanity House, Mama, but thank you for helping, financially helping me. Then you read the book, Mom. I was mortified. What's the name of the book? Charlene told me. I'm like, she read my book. I don't want my mama reading my book. Oh, Mom. You was like, oh, it's good. A couple of typos, but it's good. I'm like, Mom, I don't want you to read. Mom, I was so embarrassed you read my book. Oh, John and JQ Public is a book about a lady who worked in law enforcement and walked home, and she had a civilian clothes on. He didn't know she was in law enforcement, and he was using a toy remote truck. And I know John and JQ Public is like, did that really happen to you? The book is fiction, okay? Never you mind. And he remote controlled that daggone truck on the ankles of her damn sandals, and she tripping him. Then she cussed him out, and then he chased her. You seen the movie No Good Deed with fine ass Idris Elba and Taraji P. Two Virgo Henson? But you was like, well, he wasn't chasing her with no remote control truck, a toy. Just the intensity, trying to give you a frequency, a match, somewhat. Never mind. But once I got up, allegedly, once she got upstairs and safe and locked the apartment door, she was like, "This is a book. What just happened to me? This is a book." And I got to type it. No, okay, never mind. Mama, that's back when I was smaller. Of course, I was a cutie, but allegedly, back when the protagonist was slimmer and a cutie patootie, cute enough to be in a miniskirt and sandals. Never you mind about my novella. I took it off the market anyway. Good lord, I had to, Mama, I had to. Not just the typos, but they were selling allegedly. No, some people screen saved it, selling my book for $149 on Amazon. I'm like, why is it that? Because if you can get my book for $10 when you see me in person, they was like, why is it this much on Amazon? I'm like, how much? Look, I'm like, what are they doing? I called that 800 number. Oh, they're gonna tell me, oh, people, book collectors buy a bunch of books and resell them. Yeah, but it's print on demand. You can still buy a bunch of books and resell them with print on demand. I'm on the phone like, you don't up the price. You're price gouging for a paperback, and I don't think it's cute and look bad on me. I'm from the hood. I can't be walking around my hood. They talking about your book is $149 for typos. I don't want to talk about off the house no more. No. Woosa, woosa. Remember your church member said, I think she's with the company too. She wrote a book, Teachers Under Siege. Go on and buy it. Support her. I tell her about support your book. I'm like, I don't want a teacher read my book with typos in. Never mind. Oh, this just the fun back then, Mama. With remember I had the party for the book. Shout out to the Pisces. What is her name? She was like, you can do your book reading at my fashion show. Oh gosh, I wonder if she's still knitting. She used to knit. Shout out to Gianna. Gianna, you know Pisces self. The knitter was a Pisces too. I had the bookstore in Harlem. Or that I'm not a fan and I don't speak, but your brother, Uncle Ty, Harlem, 70s. Oh Lord, I think he out of that Nicky Barnes thing. Allegedly, I don't know. I don't know. He's a very free man now. He's older. But he was like, you giving away these t-shirts for free. I'm like, yeah, if you buy 3 or more books, you get a free t-shirt. And he's looking at, oh, Harlem nigga. You know, well, I didn't mean to say Naga. He looking at the quality. And the book just had my pen name across the titties. Can you say titties on YouTube? In any event. But he was like, no, cotton. This is the quality. It's 100% cotton. No. We selling these. I'm like, why would they buy a t-shirt with my, I don't know, low self-esteem. I'm like, why would they buy a t-shirt with my name on it? I don't. He said, it's a quality shirt. It's long sleeve. Uh-uh. And they listened to him. God knows what he sold those shirts for. I'm like, they're selling? But then I don't want to undercut the lady who's the knitting lady, because it's her fashion show for her knitting designs. I cannot think of her name. But you know how you open a show, a concert, someone would open for the headliner. My book reading, and I was a nervous wreck. Oh God, in a brownstone in Harlem, it was beautiful for freshmen. The opening was the book reading with a crowded room full of people. I was a nervous wreck. Oh, and one lady said, well, what inspired you to write this? Did I want to tell I got chased home from work? No, I didn't want to say that. Then I thought it was an original idea. Tagano told me, he was like, nah, what's the lady from Charlie's Angels, the dark hair, the dark stuff? He knew her name after minute, but in this moment, I can't remember her name. Jill. Is it Jill, Charlie's Angels? Yeah, Jill, Chris, and Farrah. No, what was it? Sabrina. This is Jill, Scorpio. He said, no, she has a movie where a man chases her home. It's the same premise. You didn't see it? I'm like, no. And that's probably why I took it off the market too. I'm like, this is not an original idea. He said, nothing new under the sun. We on the phone. Dear Libra. Anyway, Mom. Oh, shout out to Gano. I haven't spoken to him in years. We had a rough start, but we ended up being friends. And a rough start with a Libra? What kind of transits were we having? Uh, uh, but it all's well, ends well. But the point of the matter is, I just wanted it off the market, Mama. I told you. And I still want to see that movie with Jill. Jacqueline Smith, that's her name. I'm, he was like, no, she fell in love with her. Yeah. She fell in love with that, was a criminal culprit? I don't know. I think with her, it went all the way. Never mind. From what he was telling me. But I went to Wikipedia to look at all her movies, but ain't nobody gonna look at every one of those movies to figure. Never mind. Maybe one day I'll figure out which movie he's describing. I digress. Mama, number two. Back to number two. What do I still need? And I'm in nearly an hour in. Loquacious Lolita is what someone called me once. You can, yeah. All the books I've read. Does reading a lot make you chatty? There's quiet people who read a lot. I don't know. I should have did book two, Mama. There's a community on YouTube called book two. All the books I've read. And it's amazing what sustains after all the years of reading so many books. Like what sticks. Hmm. Yeah, one of my spiritual teachers like that. She liked to wait a while after you read the book to ask you what sustained, what passages in the book stays. Like Aviola Abrams. I read her book, Bombshell, Sacred, something Sacred Bombshell. Good book. I used to write for her website, Mama, too. Astrology column, and I did some reviews on her website. And I was just happy to be down. I was honored that she would, to be down. It's typos there too. She was like, don't even worry about it, don't sweat it. Beautiful Leo sister. And I'm reading the book. I'm still in New York waiting for my accessoride. So a beautiful day, I'm sitting waiting for the buggy to pull up. And I get to the acknowledgments and she has my name, my pen name there. All I could do was cry. All I could do was just cry. I'm like, she acknowledged me, a big body nobody like me. And next time we was on the phone, I'm like, you acknowledged me in this book. Oh my God. It's our tribal. My pen name is my former marital surname, and the tribe we come from, my tribal name, Florida, Seminoles, Ashe. So just to see that tribal name on that page, I was like, all I could do was cry. And the driver of the buggy, he was like, "You all right?" Some of the drivers I knew, they just some I didn't, but some I knew from riding so long, and he thinking it's the lupus. Your lupus acting up, ma. I'm like, no, 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 no. Aviola Abrams gave me a shout out in her book, and I just didn't even think she saw me like that. I just, oh, it's the little things. Can you believe Tony Daly? First, everything stops when your name is mentioned in the video. Your name is mentioned any old kind of way, anyway in the public, the 10th house, the public stage. Everything stopped because I'm just enjoying Tony Daly's videos, Mama. And she said my name, another pen name. I know. Well, Mama, you know I get ceremonies with names. Remember, you was like, I'm hurt. I named you one thing, you take on 25 other names. What is going on? I'm like, it's part of my spiritual journey, Mama. Each name came with a ceremony. I tell you that. But this name comes out of one of Abiola Abrams' book, the Goddess book. Mm-hmm. Because she honored writers in the book. Oh, she's the bomb.com. She's the mom. She all that in a bag of chips, diamond chips. You are too, Mama. We gonna get your memoir published. Hook or crook. I gotta get in. First of all, what's his name in my memoir? Hermie got that place like a bachelor pad. Can you see what he done did to your house, Mama? I'm proud of him. He has a dog now. I'm worried about that dog, but he's grown. I'm being, but I'm like, she needs exercise. She needs exercise. She's a bully. She got to run and you got in the backyard. Well, I don't want her running to other backyards. She has to move. What do you do? Mom, please talk to him about that. Heaven forbid if Caesar Milan found out. He'll be up in that backyard. You know what I'm saying? You ready? Ding dong on the doorbell. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to write Caesar a letter. But I'm like, this baby gotta run. She's pretty too. She's a pretty dog, Mama. Hold on. And he love her, but he working all these jobs. She needs exercise. I don't know. I don't. Just pray to Anubis, and he get it together with that dog. But anyhow, your door's closed. He don't go in there, Mama. I was scared to go in there too. I just kissed the door and just I don't know, Mama. It's something he did with y'all pictures, yours and your husband's. I didn't ask. He grown. I just left it alone. He's the youngest, but he's grown. He's in his 30s, and I just. It's emotional to go there, Mama. You only went back to the house once since you've been gone, just once. Christmas, I bought him and the dog some Christmas gifts, and he smiled. He said, "You bought me something? I didn't think you. Well, I didn't buy you nothing." I'm like, "It's fine. You don't have to. It's just fine." Libra rules gifts too. Gifts is a, but just and I don't even celebrate Christmas, like that. But I know some people do, and just want to be in the spirit of good cheer, because joy is a frequency. So I said I'll tap into the frequency here and there. But the smile. Now I see the in Man. I sent him something with his skin. I make oils. So I sent him oils with neem. I said, just wash your face and put this on your skin. Put it on concentrate it on the area. He got it in the mail. I said, that's the Orishas. When you give gifts to Orisha, the men especially. You remember Eddie Griffin? We saw that stand up in the house. When he's like, when you give a man a gift out of nowhere, he's like, what is this? What is this? I can't quote him verbatim right now. But when that kind of when men get happy about it, and it's just the littlest thing. A man get happy about a gift. I think of male Orishas. I'm like, oh. I just get the science, the metaphysics of gifts now. It's a Libra. It's a Libra frequency. A gift. I digress. Well, Libra's ruled by Venus. It's Venusian. Taurus is ruled by Venus too, and Taurians love nice things. They're supposed to have them. Libra still that Venus thing. I digress. I'm gonna keep digressing. This is what I do. I'm not cogent. Anyway. And people want to make you be cogent, not knowing the moon you was born under. I just look at them. Can I make you be anything? Like out of my face? I digress. Anywho, or what do I need to do? Still, I need to. I say I forgive, and I want to forgive because you don't told me about the sea of forgiveness, but I got to heal. Oh yeah, five. I didn't think that was anything to forgive you for because you had to go to work and school. In your mind, you leaving me with your sisters or my brother. Well, you knew he's a teenager. He ripping in one of the streets, Harlem. You know what I'm saying? The '70s. You know, he outside. Okay, so in your mind, you're like, well, yeah, I left it with my sisters because that's patterns. Humans are creatures of pattern. No, humans are creatures of habit. Pardon me. And habits are patterns, and patterns is math because there's geometry. And so you go to work at school. That's what you do. Especially Margot in the book. She was a homebody to boot, always home. I think I get that TV and cookies and snacks from her, reading her books with snacks and cookies. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever have you she like. But I don't know where she was. I don't even know who Mad Dog was. The point of the matter is, I got away. Well, he let me get away because he looked to be 19, very handsome. That's probably why I wasn't even into handsome men like most ladies were and are. Intellectually, visually, I'm like, oh yeah, he's very handsome. But if he's like a handsome like that Mad Dog, I don't. Give me the ugly one with good hygiene, disease free, gainfully employed, and generous with his lady. That's him. That's my boo. Too handsome, too handsome. And maybe if he that handsome and tall, but look, maybe Shango, he feel like he has a right to have a harem and concubines. No, thank you. No shade to Shango. I shade Shango. No shade. Ogun, more of a loyalist to his lady, per the studies I sat for. I digress, Mama. All right. What do I need to forgive? So I never was mad at you about five. Then 5 years old, someone else asked something. I won't say who. I won't say. I probably would never even write this because I told him no, and that was respected. The no was respected, and he's a little boy himself. But why are you asking me this? No, yeah, I didn't cut. I was mute, darn near mute. So I'm shaking my head. No, like what are you asking? But that question came after Mad Dog's attempt. I don't mean to call him Mad Dog. I don't even know who his name is. I don't know who this person is. But the person looked 19. That's too young to be someone, one of your friends. So I think it is one of um, not Margot, your other sister's friend. Because I'm like, well, who could this? He's too old to be Luke's friend. And I'm doing all this stuff in my head at five under the. And when I went in your room, bedroom, ran to your room, locked the door, and went under the bed and hid. So you got in from work or school or whatever have you. And I'm like, who is he? Who is he here for? But and all my friends are five to little kids, so I don't know who the hell that was. And I was, as you know, I wasn't the type of little girl to be in adults' faces. That was a no. Kids were to be seen and not heard, and I'm honoring that law. Yeah, I was so quiet because you keep hearing adults say that. You can hear that all over Harlem. Not just you or anyone else, but kids are to be seen and not heard. And those church ladies would reward quiet kids that sat still with candy. So I'm like, oh, there's a reward system with being quiet and still. I was still and quiet. I would sit next to the church lady that had the best candy. Most of them just had peppermint. I'm like, no, she got a variety of different candies in her pocketbook. Mm-mm. And even teachers, if you're quiet and sit still and do your work, you get a gold star. Some teachers had lollipops. So very sweet tooth. Sugar's a drug, Lord Jesus, according to study. Take my word for nothing. You look up sugar. I think there's an aspartame dang on documentaries on sugar. Let me say allegedly, Lord, YouTube, Jesus. But anywho, um, yeah, incentive, early incentives. Be quiet and you get candy. So, oh, mama, my child, thank you. Despite the pain. Oh, forgive. Oh, the 7-year-old, the Wiz ticket. Metaphysicians I studied with. They was like, and there was a play was called The Wiz. Wizardry. They got into the movie with Richard Pryor behind the curtain. Kendrick Lamar did those words in reverse. I'm like, that's Richard Pryor's voice? I thought it was Kendrick's. Oh, Mom, I don't know if you knew of Kendrick when you was here. Oh, we're so proud of him. People who love true, real hip hop. No shade to the Drake's fans. There should be no Drake fans on this channel, no how. But no, oh Lord, your daughter's a Drake fan. Oh, when I talked to my sister, I'm like, you're still a Drake fan after all this? She was like, yeah, I'm loyal. I'm like, what? I can't. Maybe it's a millennial thing. Well, Kendrick is a millennial. Listen, Mom, I don't even know new school rap. Let me not get into Kendrick. It's a whole other topic. But we were very proud of him. I just recently found out he took Richard Pryor's voice, the character in The Wiz, and reversed it. That's what Euphoria starts off with. I'm like, oh, just genius. But some of my spiritual friends was like, yeah, about your half sister with the Wiz ticket, and never mind. The reason why I still got to work through that, and I was 7, and I'm granny grown right now in my 50s, Lord have mercy, because that was the moment I felt devalued. The first moment. Yes, you made it up to me on the weekend. We still went to go see the Wiz, but I don't know. It's deeper than the Wiz. Seeing the Wiz, I'm very grateful. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, ice cream was wonderful, but I'm still thinking someone intercepted you. Let someone intercept our plans. Very manipulative, very persuasive. How did this happen? But I don't know. I felt like you chose her over me. And she used to always say before she was your mother, she was my sister. Like it's a hierarchy competition. I'm like, I have no control over that. That's God's doing. And she'll snap, exactly. God made me her sister before he made her you, her daughter. I had to get a lot of spiritual readings. Like, why is she saying this to me? That's like me telling her kids before she was your mom, she was my aunt. And they would be like, huh? And what is your point? It makes no sense. I can't. The logic. I just can't. I don't know if that's a logic now, but that was a logic then. She used to repeat that to me as a kid and as a woman. I was in my 30s the last time we spoke, and she said that to me. I'm like, what does that mean? The seniority and hierarchy in court, wills bequeath. The siblings don't have more clout than the offspring, and this is the law. I done took legal studies. Okay, child, please, 95 credits. That's my Twitter handle. Why can't I get back in Twitter and deactivate that page, Elon? Mom, all the hell they make you go through to get in Twitter. You got the password, that ain't enough. I mean, play these little games. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I just want to get into deactivate because it's inactive the page. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just want to deactivate the thing, and I can't get in to deactivate it. It's very annoying. Oh, but I like that handle. I was like, oh, okay, because graduation, to graduate is 120, and you used to say you got 95. You're so close. I'm like, Mom, I exhausted financial aid. I can afford to pay for 25 credits. So unless there's a scholarship, this is it, 95 credits, and I'm very proud of them. I worked very hard for those credits. Just knew I was going to be a lawyer with the way I talk, and love Matlock and Perry Mason and Maxine Shaw, Columbo. I digress, Mama. Bear with me. I'm the Felix, what my friends call me, the female Felix with the way I talk. Felix Unger, but messy like Oscar. And we lived on Madison Avenue. This Oscar Madison. Oh, okay, Mama. What do I need to forgive you for? The Wiz ticket. The 8-year-old didn't. Isn't that something? I got baptized at 7. I done went to Fresh Air Fund, upstate New York, Mama. Twice. One in the family camp with Caucasians, and as pro-black as you was in Harlem. All your friends was like, you sending your baby to live with white people? Are you crazy? In upstate New York is racist as hell up there. He was like, no, no, no. I interviewed with them over the phone. They seemed very nice. And your friends was like, you are bugging. And I'm overhearing air hustling. At first, it's honest eavesdropping. I'm walking by to go to the doggone kitchen, get some cookies and stuff. And I hear you, talking to your friends on the phone. I hear them. They're like, I ain't sending my baby living with no white people nowhere, let alone upstate in the woods. You was like, no, 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 no. They're Christians, and they was like, you're crazy. But I was. not very scared, but I vacillated between feeling okay and scared. Your friends make me scared, their responses. You make me feel okay because you're like, no, I spoke to the people, I spoke to them. You think the Fresh Air Fund would hire anyone that had a criminal record? They do background checks on the family, and you on the phone convincing them that everything is okay. And you convince me that I'll be fine. And family camp, and you did say don't let them touch your hair. You got my hair braided with the beads. Oh, oh, mama. That's probably why I love Patrice Russian so much. Her hair braids back then, the braids with the bead, mommy. How you would get my hair done, and oh, I hated getting my hair done. Oh, Tender had it. Mama, how you know I don't do my hair now? That came up in the last reading. Is that you? Um, he was like, they don't. Your ancestors don't want you to let your beauty go. I'm like, what beauty? I got beauty left. They was like, he was like, don't let your beauty go. But I'm not. I'm not. You know, that beauty thing come up in readings. I'm like, is the spiritual realm this doggone shallow? And Garfield was like, beauty is not shallow. As an astrologer, I should know that Venus rules beauty. But I know what Venus is doing in my natal chart. So I'm like, I'm speaking astrology to him, and he's like, Yadi, please do not let your beauty go. You know, that's very scary that would come up for me in spiritual readers. Oh, I don't even envy beauty. It's beauty. Beauty is beauty. It's nice, but I don't know. I think I got bigger fish to fry. But I don't know. I'm trying to got my what do you call it, nails and toes done recently. I ain't had got that many and petty and oh God, since my wedding. That was what 20, my Lord. I haven't had a mani and pedi since 2022. I just don't care. But I don't know. Are y'all telling me to? Well, you so Avon. You cared. You so beautiful, Mama. But why would this? I know. Beauty attracts Venusian. How does it taught it? Beauty attracts. It's ruled by Venus, but it attracts Venusian things. Venusian. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have the energy to give a hell in the care. Hold on, hold on. The phone went dark. I got the questions in the phone. All right, Mom. Moving on. Oh no. Oh yeah. So 8 years old. Before I bring the Fresh Air Fund, because you're like, wait a minute. I survived living with a white family for 2 weeks who wanted to do my hair. And I'm like, no, no. My mama said, don't take my braids out because they wash their hair every day. And my mama, I was like, no, my mama, that day, she said that strips natural oils. She washed my hair when she take my braids out. And they was like, can you wash between the braids? No, my mama said put my scarf on and go to bed. Everything was like my mama said. They was like, yeah, does that work? You don't want to wash your hair? They wash their hair every day. Every day. I was in the hospital after I had my first baby. I was in the hospital. I shared a hospital room with a Caucasian lady who was very give you very Tammy. Remember the movie Tammy, Mama, that Caucasian lady? A nurse did remind me of Tammy as well, but this one, she wanted, Mickey's baby daddy, John and J. Q. Butler. Mickey is my first husband, baby daddy. She wanted him to bring her White Castles too. I didn't mind. I was like, you could bring her something. And he looked like she want me to pay for it. I don't know. I'm assuming she give you back the money when she see the receipt, but she didn't. She was like, you, because her baby daddy didn't come up there. Just, I don't know. I felt bad. Like, like she had no visitors. I'm like, a white person with no visitors? I don't know. I felt bad. But she wanted, when he brought me, she wanted it too and was bold enough to ask. And he brought it, Mickey, he brought it. But he just bought, I put the R in there. You bought to bring, bought and brought. When he brought me, he brought her. And we're young, we're not 20s. I guess he didn't mind. At some point, he would like, this is weird. And I kept saying, she doesn't have a baby daddy. Well, not one that seemed to care. So, I wonder whatever happened to her. Just, never mind. But gosh, her son grown now. I wonder if she even shared that black people, was very nice to her. I digress, Mama. How did I get on her? I don't know. How did I go from the doggone 70s to the 90s? Mom, I'm not cogent. My point is, I survived Caucasians in upstate New York 2 weeks. Okay, Fresh Air Fund. I had my first kiss because black. I think it was Doo-Wop. I don't know. There's a Harlem guy, a Harlem video Doo-Wop, and I look at him like, is that him? Of course, this is a little boy, but unless I can figure out, ask somebody in the chat, did anyone know if he went to Fresh Air Fund? But there was a little boy, looked similar to Doo-Wop, but the way they talk about him, he ain't giving Fresh Air Fund camp teas as a kid. I don't know. But I'm like, that looked like the guy who kissed me through the diamond in the gate. The backyard of each house, and he was back there and I was back there. And he would look at me. You know, we the only little black kids in the neighborhood. And he said, Fresh Air Fund. He mouthed it. I said, yeah, yeah. So, because it was buses on 116th Street. So we probably didn't take the same bus upstate. And some people say, you see what's going on with Fresh Air Fund videos now? I'm like, no, thank God that wasn't my experience. But some think that was a ritual of getting urban kids to go upstate, as in when later on upstate prisons. You know, I'm around metaphysics, mom. I'm still around the metaphysicians. Like, was that some kind of ritual to get us upstate? And I don't know. We analyze and decode nearly everything, okay? As you know, you know your daughter stay decoding something. But he kissed me through the diamond. He gave me my first kiss through the diamond. Yeah. What's your name? Where you from? And I told him, I said, what's your name? Where you from? But I forget the name now. No, I was 6. Anyway, but to survive that first attempt by Mad Dog at 5, staying with Caucasians for 2 weeks, who wanted to do my hair. No. God, I really stood my ground. I'm not taking my braids out. Well, let me put shampoo between them. No, mommy said don't touch. No one should touch my hair. It's their fascination with our hair. Well, I know now, but at 6, I'm like, no. And they eat just like what you see on TV at a certain time. That dinner at 6 is serious. I mean, don't be late getting to the table. I know. In Harlem, we can eat when we want to. Just everything seems structured. Your snack is at a time, twice a day, and everything is timed. So I'm like, what's with Saturn and Caucasians? What is going on? But you live and let live. Mom, you're strict about education. But in the house, you eat what you want and as much as you want. It just, thank you, Mom. Well, your thing, you was stickler about if you're going to cook for everybody. Even once you got the queens that got older. If you're going to cook, don't just cook for you. Cook for the whole house. That's the only thing you seem to be a stickler about. But no, you're free to eat whatever you want. Whenever you want. And I thought that was everyone's life to get out in the world. Like, no, that's not everyone's life. Even my friends would tell me, you know, once we got grown, everybody know your house had the food. And your mom wasn't shy about sharing it. I'm like, y'all didn't visit me for my personality. It wasn't a social hub because I had a winning personality. They was like, no, don't think that. Mom, I wonder if I had all them friends because of your deep freezer and your food. Just, was it the food or was it me? Never mind. Never mind. My homegirls coming up and the homeboys too. I think it was the food. And you didn't act funny style. You was never a food police. That's probably why you didn't run out of food. I don't know. And they would say it looked like it never ran out. You just was never funny about stuff like that. And no offense to families who are, because it's a budget. Things cost money. But you didn't act in a scarce way about food. And we always, I'm big as hell now, but and big as heaven as well. But you just, I don't know. And I thought that's normal. And you get it grown. But I knew it couldn't have been because you would tell us when you're delivering Avon, don't ask for anything. And if they offer, say no, thank you. And I'm like, even if they offer, say no, thank you. You heard what I said. Your eyes get big and mean. I'm like, oh. So you had an idea that, you know, food may not flow freely in other households. Don't put anyone in a position to feel, you know, like they have to share where they can't spare. Or they're wrong. They have to share where they can't spare. Anyway, well, I'm at 4:45 in the morning. 1:19 in. Jeez. All right, Mama. So yeah, and survive Fresh Air Fun family camp. Then there was next summer Fresh Air Fun camp with all the kids, Harlem kids, and that was fun because the camp leaders and the counselors, they were melanated and was a Caucasoid sprinkle. And during that time, there was jokes the counselors would tell about a black guy, a white guy, and a Chinese guy walking into a bar. And I can't find those jokes anywhere online. I'm like, was that specific to those counselors? Man, just I don't know if they're jokes that make you. Well, they did make you think. It's I don't know. You didn't get like a big belly laugh, but yeah, I remember they used to constantly play good music. They had their radio, but this one song they seemed to play on repeat. Oh shucks, is that okay? Oh, I was looking at the candle, Mama. Sometimes you got to put it out. I like it to go out in the song. I shall. But oh, Sun Express. Who sung that? Sun Trans Express. That song they played on repeat. I can't think of the name of that song though. If I hear it, I instantly think of Fresh Air Fun. Oh, we had a ball, potato sack racing, and we would remember Luke went first. He would bring back all them pretty bracelets, but by the time I got there, they weren't making those silver bracelets anymore. I'm like, you made silver? I guess Danger with kids. He made me bangles. Oh gosh, they were so pretty. Thank you, Luke. But they let us make beaded bracelets. They was like, no, it's dangerous. I'm like, it's dangerous. But I guess how would you make a bend and silver bangle? I don't know. They let the big boys teach them and show them. I don't know. But making jewelry is very therapeutic too, just like writing. But beaded bracelets and the those things where you make like a snake with the wire. Oh God, arts and craft in camp was the bomb.com. Oh Lord. But then I would wander off in the woods near a blueberry bush to read books. So my thing was I don't know it's dangerous. Just the naivete of children. I don't know. But to be in the woods with deer, I'm not scared. They're so pretty. They didn't walk up on me, but they would look. And this is when everything is organic. So these woods are thick. But I would want to walk away and read in peace. I can't go back to the dorm because all of this just other kids probably are sleeping in their cot and just I want to be alone and read in peace. You would pack books in my backpack and stuff. That was your thing. Always travel with books. You never know when you get traffic. You got to wait in line at the supermarket. I don't, always travel with books. You books. Thank you, Mama. And I have a lot of books. Oh, gosh, Mama. A book was the answer to everything in your heart and mind. Oh, but anywho, so yeah, just eating my blueberries and reading my books in the woods and got out safely. It just when kids found that blueberry bush, I was like, oh man, I gotta share the bush. I named that blueberry bush too. That'd be in the book. I wonder if that blueberry bush is still there. No, it probably isn't. But yeah, I'm like, oh man, they even found my bush. I know the fruit belongs to his earth mother and everything. I don't know. I just had to find another place to read. But anyhow, and when you pop out, they're like, oh my lord, what are you doing down here? They're kids. A counselor was with them though. They had the good sense to have a counselor take them on a hiking trail through the woods. I know. But yeah, I had a good time. And nothing crazy or illicit happened. But outside of the Caucasian family, I wish I knew their name. See if they was on Facebook. I can't remember their name. Wanting to do my hair. Their food was a little bland. And they would stare at me a lot. Not the whole family as a collective staring, because that would be weird. But individually, you can catch them staring. I'm like, what are they staring at? What's and I'm thinking, is it the braids? Maybe. Why am I hearing Kendrick's voice now? Now, my mama, we are celebrating Kendrick Lamar. Lord have mercy. Eclipse. Oh Lord, hip hop. It's like hip hop is like I won't die. Or hip hop is dead. Will watch me resurrect. It's like a phoenix or something. Black Dot wrote that in his book Hip Hop Decoded. He said, I'm more interested in the mystery because he's from the Bronx. He said, I know the history of hip hop. I'm interested in the mystery of hip hop. Yeah, that book is good. He said one thing scared me. I gave the book to my firstborn. I needed to buy it again and finish it. Just something he said scared me, Mama. Lord have mercy. But I think it's because of the Christianity stuff he raising me in, and if I embrace the metaphysics. Anyway, Mama. So age 8, you got married. 10 years with no spouse. My dad was your first husband. So you got married about 10 years because I'm 8. after about to quote CL Smooth, 10 years no spouse, mama getting married in the house. Listen, so you got, and you look so cute. You wore green sequins wedding gown. I'm like, you gonna wear green for your wedding? You was like, yeah, yeah. After you have, it's my second marriage. After you have babies, you can't wear white anymore. I'm like, oh, yeah. You said you wore a white skirt suit to the courthouse when you married my dad. Before I was born, I was born in wedlock. Could you imagine being daddyless and you were born in wedlock? I don't know. Usually, daddyless daughters wasn't born in wedlock, is what was told to me in group therapy. I'm like, no, they were married. Sure enough. And you got a playboy to marry you. That's also rare. Yeah, my daddy is definitely Shango. Lord have mercy. And it's not just something he told me. He's Cuban Shango. He's Shango. Shango. Look at me, okay? I shall. When I got the instructions on what to do with his ashes, it thundered. Yeah. You like, oh, maybe it's just a rainy day. And my husband's not into the stuff. Not like I am. He respects it, but when he looked at me, he said, that's him. Talking about my father. That thunder scared me, mama. And we were the only one out there in the woods like that. I don't play woods when I'm grown. Being naive as a little girl wandering in the woods for the blueberries and reading is something else. Being grown in the woods, no, big mama don't play like that. But, I had instructions from my Padrino on what to do. And I followed orders and what to buy, and I followed it to the T. I shade daddy. But that thunder, I said, oh God, yeah, he's Shango. All them women, oh Lord, yeah, he's Shango, mama. You really didn't, your book, you didn't want to get into the philandering too much. But I'm like, Mom, we have to. I can handle it. I know it's my daddy, but I can handle it. Oh, mama. But, no, but back to number two. But 8 years old, what happened at 8? And again, you're at work. This time you're pregnant at work. Oh, God. I can't believe. In the memoir, John and JQ public about what happened at 8 years old. And that changed me. I was looking at, I don't know, and I've read this in books and I've heard it before. I don't know why it meant so much. It has so much depth. I was looking at a review for the movie Little, and I forgot the title again. It took me so long to remember the title to type in because I wanted to send a clip of it, of the clip in a scene in this movie to the forgiveness group. We're focusing on the word sorry. I mean, like forgiveness and sorry, but yeah. Well, anywho, um, in that a scene in that movie, a little favor, a simple little favor. I think that's the name of the movie. They speak about women saying sorry. I'm like, oh, if I could just find that clip, because I don't want to share the whole entire movie. And who wants to sit through the whole movie? I like the movie, but these sisters may not like the movie. Like, we gotta sit through this to find that scene. So I'm like, oh, I hope I find the specific scene. Well, they're breaking down. There's one scene she said, I'm gonna slap the sorry out of your mouth. But this is another scene where she's elucidating on women just reflexively constantly saying sorry. I think there's a scene in What Women Want with Mel Gibson till he goes, oh, that's a beautiful scene. That scene made me like Mel Gibson. Not romantically, like my heart bloomed for him. I know it's a script, but he delivered those words very well about women being overly apologetic or too critical of themselves. Now Countess Vaughn is coming to mind. She was in a reality show. I think the one that Todd Tucker produced, Hollywood Divas, I think. But they were asking her, why do you self-deprecate? And she's a Leo, self-deprecating, which is very strange for a Leo to do, especially doing it so much. But they was asking her, why are you self-deprecating, again? She said, because it hurts less when you judge me. I'm paraphrasing, but it hurts less when you do it. When you say it, it'll hurt less if I say it to myself. I don't know, just paraphrasing profound. I'm like, ugh. So that explained my self-deprecating. I'm like, that's what that is. It's like, scar tissue. A title of another one of my manuscripts. When I used to have health insurance and I would go get my iron, HIPAA laws, TMI. But I would go, get my treatments and Ogun is iron. Remember, what was we watching, Mama? When people would hold their hand on iron You know, like now, hold your hand on the Bible, so I know you're telling the truth. Before the Bible, you would hold your hand on iron to ensure that you're telling the truth. And I thought of Ogun. I was like, put your hand on iron? I thought that was so profound. The solid of iron. And what makes iron? Is it carbon and, oh God, well, I'm thinking physics class. Is it carbon? Carbon is melanin, though. That's 6 on the periodic table. That 369, planet Earth, third rock. But carbon mixed with car. No, carbon and iron makes steel. Yeah, and homophone of steel, Steel, and Steal is something against women because the Phi, iron is Phi. I know it's Ogun, but never mind, Mama. You know my nature, harmless but studious. Okay. Um, so age 8, what your second husband did. Yeah, Ma. I'm still working on that. Then when I get in my 30s and finally have the courage to ask you why. Now I give you this: you did leave him immediately. And group therapy told me that's rare. Some mothers still stay with. Some mothers to justify staying with their husband or boyfriend, they call a little girl a liar. But I'm like, how could I be a liar when I was mute from 0 to 6? I didn't even talk. Don't you got to talk to lie? So how am I lying? And I'm just newly. That incident made me start talking, Mama. And I wasn't going to speak at first because I didn't want to make waves. Because you just got married, you're pregnant with your third baby. I didn't want to make any waves, so I wasn't going to say something. But it was the second attempt when I locked myself in my Girl Scout my brownie sleeping bag. They took us camping too and got home safely. Could be out in the wild, black little girls with a Caucasoid camp leader. No shit. When I say with Becky's, I don't mean no harm when I say Caucasoid. Just I can't see any Caucasians on this dog on the channel. I mean no harm, please. This is the language of the ciphers I done sat in over the decades. Okay, but just made it out of harm's way, out of the woods. Ashe to the peace, pilgrim. She was walking through woods for peace. Oh, Ashe to her. Anyhow, Media and gratitude to all who really sincerely want peace on this planet. Your angels, your light workers, you. Ashe. Anyway, Mama. But yeah, I had the brownie Girl Scout sleeping bag, and I think did I even ask you for a lock on my door? I was like, why do you want a lock on your door? Why? And I didn't have the courage to tell you that. I just didn't want to make waves in your new marriage, and you're about to have a baby. I just didn't want to upset you. But his second attempt and trying to get into the locked sleeping bag, I said, no, God, no, I gotta talk. I gotta tell her. I've got to tell her. A second attempt. I thought first of all, it was so horrible. I thought I was the only one on the planet that happened to, and just things changed. Little boys would start harassing me. None of that happened prior to his dirty digit finger. Just I'm like, why are the little boys coming up to me? I don't. But now I study in some metaphysical study. Your aura change. In Angela Stanton's book, Real Lives of a Housewife, she shows a picture before she turned 5 years old, then a picture after 5 when she was tampered with, and you could see the difference in the aura of the picture. I was like, oh my God, it does something in your aura changes. Let me tell you, Pam Ashe, Pam, blessings be upon your soul. She worked with what was called then mentally challenged adults. I don't know if they changed the term now in this day and age, but she'd get closer to one visit her at her house, and she told her the time she was born because I wanted to look at Pam's natal chart. I'm like, from looking at you, she said these people are gifted. Mentally challenged my foot. Remember, Man worked with them, and he brought one guy home from his job, a client. I think they call them clients. And this guy, you just tell him your birthday, and he tell you the day of the week that was, and all about you. But no, he don't have ephemeris or no books in his hand. And I'm like, he don't even need your time of birth. In hospitals they got you saying your name and your birthday for all the damn everything. They get food, and I'm like, what kind of ritual is this shit? But I gotta confer with my other spiritual homies on that. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I don't know. The nurse tells us prevent malpractice, lawsuits, and You guys say the patients say their name and birthday for just, in court you say your name and address. Never mind. Let me confer with my spiritual friends with that one. I'm like, what is this? I'm sitting there like, what is this? Oh Lord, so it's just my part of my decoding heart. But anyway, where was I? What I did? Yeah, I'm thinking common sense. I'm not saying. I don't say. I don't see. I'm being disrespectful. But if I'm one personality before, and now I'm a whole other personality after the crime, the math, adducing, deducing, concluding, math, simple arithmetic. I don't know. I think maybe having a husband and helping your bills get paid. And I heard you on the phone back then. You took him back because you said, "Oh, I have someone to help me pay the mortgage. We moved to Queens. I need help." And so, but I just couldn't believe you took him back. But group therapy told me I should be happy that you left them to begin with, and you left them. We're looking at the timing or something. I think we were looking at. No, I know we were looking at TV, but I think it was Good Times episode, or did I see that episode? And I was like, I gotta tell my mom. When Walona's ex-husband Ray made a pass at Thelma, who's much older than 8 years old at this time, but it's still wrong. It's horrible. And I was like, I gotta tell my mom. But just hearing your thoughts on that episode, how disgusted you were with men who do things like that. And I'm like, she don't know she married to one? Oh God, Jesus. But his second attempt, between that, us watching that TV show, and I'm looking at how reviled you are looking at it, and something else we was looking at, one of them after school movies too, and something, it was a Caucasian movie, and some grown male, yeah, you were reviled. So I'm like, okay, so I know she's against this type of horrible practice, and she's disgusted by it. She just don't know her husband is one of them. Just, and no offense to my brother, he ain't gonna listen to this, Lord. He ain't got patience to listen to this no how. But no offense to him. It's his dad. But oh gosh, Mom, you taking him back. The whiz ticket is cumulative with devalue in the devalue department. So I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, because we're watching. Cousin Crystal wrote a book, 1 Minute Mama. I'm so proud of her, Dr. Crystal Monique, and I'm still hurt what she said to Judge. Why am I saying names? What's her name? Look, Yaya. I'm still hurt by what she said to Yaya, and when she was pregnant, back in '05. But 2005, yeah. I just, but I love her. I love all the babies in our family. Well, these grown women now, but one page in her book, she has quotes. It's like a journal, but she has quotes where it helps the mom. There's another book I bought similar to that, like Mama You Matter. I forgot who did that journal. I know I'm not pregnant anymore, but it's a great gift if you're going to a baby shower. Great baby shower gift, and just it's a gift for moms too. That's how it was explained to me. Even if your children are grown, it's still a good journal, and it is. But Crystal's out to go get the book now. But I stopped. I haven't even. It was so compelling. First of all, she's sharing quotes from other people, but this is her quote. Oh my! It's so compelling. She a Capricorn with Aquarius moon. I don't know why I said it because I'm thinking, is this more of an Aquarian statement? Well, the moon is Mama, but she said in there, even if you don't think you're something, I'm paraphrasing, your kids think you're everything, or something like that. That's oh my God. If you have a low brow of view of yourself, your kids don't see you like that. And that's true. I saw you as God and a goddess. You had to take me to church and say, no, 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 this is God, not me. This is God. As a little girl, no, you were my God, and that whiz ticket shifted everything. And your second husband, I was like, what is going on here? Jesus Christ. But yeah, everything shifted. And I told no one at first. I'm like, why are little boys approaching me? Oh, that's the point. Your aura changes. Cousin May was living with us, and she's from the roots of Florida. She was like, what's wrong with you? Like, she could see the aura. I'm like, what she could see that mommy can't see? And she, oh, it'd be in a book with Cousin May. She traveled with snakes, what we thought was an urban myth, until you had to put her out. Mama, you know what it was with Cousin May. She wanted her snakes to kill your second husband. She's like, I kill that motherfucker dead. And she's not asking me per se. She's telling me like she could see something different. Something, what is wrong with you? What didn't happen to you? And who is he? Shout out to the Seminoles, the South period with them roots and hoodoo and all the things she allegedly did. Lord have mercy, Ashe, Salu. You put her on the bus back to Florida, and I was sad because that was my family and my friend, my protector. In any event, ma, age 8, age 5, again, I knew I had to be home alone because you had school. Sometimes latchkey kids very big in our generation, but I didn't want to be alone with Mad Dog. I'm hell to anyway. But age 7, age 8, I'm still working through that, and I'm granny grown. All these decades, I'm still growing because it's the devaluing thing. You don't care who don't care about you, but you want your mama to care about you. It's your mama, you know. So I don't know. I just grew very distant. And what was confusing? Oh, your response when I asked you, wait to 30 years old. Why did you take him back? And that response was soul shattering, soul shattering. Oh gosh, it'd be in a memoir, John and JQ Public. Be like, well, what was the response in a memoir? It's not a sales pitch. I just don't want to say it here. I just Oprah interviewed Shaka Sangora again. Yeah, I gotta get his books. Um, and he said how he came home with a good report card, and I guess the mom was in the mood to talk. I don't know, but she threw a pot at him or something, you know, just to be left alone. And or Oprah told him, she was like, "That's soul shattering." He was shaking his head, yes, you know. So yeah, your response when I turned 30, when I finally found the courage to ask you, why did you take him back? That response on the phone, it was sheepish. Like your soul was trying to stop you from saying it, because I'm no one to be scared of. I'm non-combatant, chubby non-combatant. I wouldn't, even if I was a combatant, I'm not going to be physically combative with my mama. I'm terrified of karma. And mama karma? Oh, no, no, no. What the spiritualist told me? You complain about this mama, your next life, your mama can get worse. And I'm like, ah. So, yeah, they big on that. Try to find the good. You want the mamas to get better? Each incarnation, I don't, who wants to reincarnate? But if you have to, you want the mamas to get better. You don't want them to get worse. So just find a silver lining, you know. I shade to my study groups. But in any event, Media and gratitude, I share. Dua, dawa, dawa, dawa. Yeah, age 7, 8, and then 20 when I'm pregnant. Your sisters, oh gosh. The burglary of my first apartment, and you talked me into moving in that place with them. Gun ho. Talked me into renting that top floor from your sister. But I know now you co-signed for the house. Your credit is on the line, and you put up G's at the closing. So you know you want to make good on your investment. You know, just oh mama, oh. But like your third husband, good guy. He told you. You know, you can't have the American dream for other people. You can't want the house for them more than they want it for themselves. And that was your idea with them, according to your third husband. Oh, Jesus. I never got the heebie-jeebies from him. We would argue over food, though. He didn't like me coming in eating carte blanche once I had my own place and moved out. Oh, Memphis. Oh, Lord, he could smoke that barbecue. He was like, you know, New York is not a pork town. When he would try to sell us his pulled pork sandwiches on the block parties out. I don't think this is a pork town. I share to your soul, Mr. Herman. Oh gosh, even with the collector's rent and took the door off the hinges, and they got the gun plate with shotguns, and he said that tenant must be from the country. What are you doing? I thought New York was a pistol. Where he go? To? I thought New York was a pistol town, or I thought New York was this kind of town. He had a shotgun like I had a shotgun. Is he from the South? On the Midwest? He just had a sense of humor. Lord have mercy, funny as hell. And he walked on water, his sister said, him and his brothers. The racists in Arkansas. And, hey, nigga, walk on water. You think you're Jesus? And he didn't tell me the story. Aunt Glow told me the story. And they don't talk about it because they don't know how it happened. But yeah, they ran into the water because they was trying to get away from KKK. I digress, but they walked. According to the Caucasoid KKK, not even them. But that was the talk of the town. His stories are legendary. He used to sit on the stoop and he would share stories with me about Memphis and Arkansas. I got the Al Green stories better than anything in any book, okay? A shout out to Al Green. He probably what kind of stories your stepdaddy told you. No secrets. What was the word? Detroit. Is it Detroit? Retract. I don't know what the journalism school. Yeah, you retract. Yeah, I think Vibe magazine had the story. Okay, oh Lord, yeah, but it was fun. Stories on the stoop with him. It's just mad fun. It was a sense of humor. Yeah, you got it right with the third one. Your fourth husband too, but I told you superstition. You didn't want to hear nothing. I know, but there's a superstition with the fourth husband. I was like, wow, you sure you want a fourth husband? Oh God. And Vreedian said he had no business going back down south. He ain't take no tea for the feet of the evil. Lord have mercy. Nor did your third one. Or your first one. I don't think your second one took any shorts either, but he just pedo and perv. And the other little girls around the way would say to me about, never mind, this is in the book. I'm like, tell her mama. She ain't gonna believe it from me. You tell her directly, don't tell me nothing. Well, high school girls, and just what they seen. Just, never mind. That's some things the best in the memoir. I'm not trying to hurt my sibling. He ain't got the patience to listen to this no how. Morning, you work all the jobs. Like, he's not like that, thank God. But oh mama. So forgiveness, total forgiveness, not just lip service, but total forgiveness. I'll figure it out. Age 7, age 8, age 20, moving in with your sisters. But again, what hurt worse than the actual crime was you taking him back. You divorced him in junior high school, yes, when I was in junior high school. But then when he found the magazine between my mattress and my little girl room, and you asked me what am I doing with it, and you want to go sue the store who sold it to me, I'm like, no, you need to sue for divorce. He had no business in my room, let alone between. What is he between my mattresses for? All I could think of, because it's creepy. Why are you in a little girl's room? What are you doing? And I said this to you at that age, in junior high school age. All I could think of is because I'm old enough when the corner store was ran by black people. They sold ice cream in there, and you played numbers. All I could think of is the black man that worked in that store. He that corner store seemed bigger when the black people ran it. I know they probably changed it. Of course they did change it when the Puerto Ricans came. The corner store. If you're young, ask a Gen X about corner stores in the urban locales in New York. It was black, Spanish, and then Occanum, Arabs. I just, what is the politics of getting a corner store? How it changed like that? I don't know. I don't know right now. But I think he went to play his number, and the man in there was like, your stepdaughter was in there, and you know what she bought? I remember when I bought it, but they had articles in there, and they talked about astrology. One of the ladies in the Playboy magazine was a Virgo. I'm like, they talk about astrology in here, so I was really reading the articles. Not so much as the nudity, but because he tampered with me, I was looking at WHT. What is it called? Midnight. What's the thing called? Midnight something. But I wanted to study sex to understand why. What would make an adult look? All them fine women in Harlem in the 70s. Mommy, you were fine. Lord Jesus. And I was a bony, skinny little girl, flat chested. And I'm like, what would he see in me with all these fine women walking around Harlem? That was so bizarre to me. So let me study. Again, that's what I do. When hurt, go study. That's what I do. I go study. It's what I do. Because that's what I saw you doing. Reading and studying everything. Everything reading and studying. So 20 years old. So the burglary, your sister only one had the key. No forced entry is the title of that chapter. No forced entry. took the key, the landlady, and went in there and stole all my shit. Good Lord have mercy. I remember looking at an interview with Selah Marley, Lauryn Hill's daughter, Scorpio. I'm like, they stole from Scorpio? Who, who wants smoke with Pluto? They better hope. How, they said if you speak crazy to a Scorpio and Pluto will mark you for death. Heaven forbid if the Scorpio knows how to commune and petition Pluto. I ain't want no smoke with no daggone Scorpio. But she seemed to take it in stride. She said her friend stole all her shit. I'm like, these friends have over another race too. I'm like, she had white friends in the house. Just the energy Lauryn Hill exudes. I wouldn't think that she'd have Caucasoid friends. Maybe it's a night. Maybe you live in a nice area. You can't help but have Caucasoid friends. I think Lauren went to school with Caucasoids. I don't. You think she go to somebody a Hewish birthday bar mitzvah? I don't know. I love Lauryn Hill so much. I read so much about her. But any event, and I went right back to 1990 when your sister turned the key and they went in there and burglarized my shit. I don't mean cuss moms. And you didn't even curse. You didn't drink, nor smoke, nor cuss. You didn't even call people names. And yet you managed to break my heart in 1,000 pieces. And that comes out in group therapy too. They be wanting to fight. The ladies be wanting to fight me. Wait a minute, you have a mother that don't smoke, that don't drink, that don't cuss, and don't call people names, and you're complaining, and she pays all the bills, and you live in a house in Queens, because the group therapy was in Harlem. I'm sitting there like, well, those people could hurt you too. But now I know, as the therapist said, you got to meet, water finds its level. How the saying go, the maximum? Water finds its level. She said, you got to have group therapy with responsible women who had responsible mothers but yet broke their heart. I'm like, how would I find that? They're out there, they exist. So, it gets like we weren't millionaires, but these ladies talk about things that their mama did that just break your heart in 50,000 pieces. The only thing I had in common with most of them, because they would say, oh, my mama put my bills in my name and I'm still a child. So that's something you never did. You wouldn't even think of doing anything like that with your A1 credit. Your credit wasn't ruined till your sister let the house go on foreclosure, is what you told me. Credit ruined for 10 years, but you got it back. It just, Mom, you're just incredible. As a kid, you think that's normal behavior of adults. You don't think it's special till you get grown and you can't match it. Mom, my credit never looked like your credit. It still doesn't. I don't nowhere near it. Nothing but a fantasy my credit ever looked like as good as your credit. And you got it right back up. Oh, God, Mama, yeah. Again, what you make look effortless, I assume all adults live like that. Adult women, black women, what's called black, shout out to the Moors, and I learned from them too. Melanated. But now with the FBA, it's the black. I digress more. I'm getting into the Moors and the FBA, Lord have mercy. But yeah. So age 7, 8, 20. But again, you meant everything to me. Your ex-husband in my heart is expendable. Your siblings and extended family, the way they treated me, expendable. And then what comes out in the readings for that wicked half sister of yours, the things done behind the scenes, allegedly per the readings, I'm like, she's really evil. This level of evil, it's incomprehensible. There's a good guy on YouTube, Mom. His videos are addicting. For me, they are. He's a Muslim, but he looks Irish. Well, he is Irish. He's Irish. So I'm like, they got Caucasian Muslims. So Malcolm X and he went to Hajj and saw Caucasian and Muslims and whatnot. But and he admits he read Malcolm X's book and he loves him. I'm like, we can tell that frequency is apparent. What's his name? The channel's Middle Nation, Mr. Bolson. But there's a video titled, you could be on the same earth with people, but come from two different worlds. Come from different worlds. Paraphrase something like that. And I was like, well, that's been scripted my whole daggone life. The whole world is a stage and everybody plays their part. Well, my part is, well, I know I pursued acting in the 90s. I had fun too. Oh, God, the 90s. Oh, God, extra work. A lot of fun. And it was cute money too. It was, well, you're there so many hours. I don't know why I'm calling it cute money. And some got 150 a day. I got 75 a day. I'm like, how are you getting 150 a day? Well, no, but extra work was still fun. Just like you said, carry books with you. So as long as I had snacks, well, they had craft services too. I met Ice-T, He was nice. The people you meet at being an extra. I met Isaac Hayes. He made me cook rice for him twice. It's and then it's so surreal. I'm like, does he know he's Isaac Hayes? He was like, no, no, baby girl, this one's too salty. Don't try again. You can't believe he's talking to you. I'm like, Isaac Hayes is talking. Remember, I was scared of that album cover with him as a kid, and Luke would scare me with it, chase me with the cover through the house, making me scream to get me to talk because I was so quiet. And that's something you get on people's nerves because you're too quiet. And then now I'm chatty. Oh, you're a chatty Kathy. So, which one do you want? I'm quiet. That's unnerving. I'm chatty and that's unnerving. Oh, damn if you do, and darned if you don't. Anyway, Mama, but those I'm working through it. Age 7, 8, 20, with your sisters. But again, what was worse than the burglary when I was in the basement washing clothes, because the stuff they put in the yard is the stuff they didn't want. And that's not, we'll steal everything, but we don't want to throw out in the yard. Oh God. Anyhow, so Charlene got me to go through the bags. Well, let's just see, because for a while I just sat in the garage. She was like, "You don't want to see what's in your bags? Let's just see what they put in there." I'm like, God knows, I don't know. So I'm going through this. I'm like, they didn't put any, my documents and paperwork, and it just was a whole mess. So some things were a bit eccentric. I'm like, I guess this was a bit eccentric for their taste, huh? So I know I wouldn't even want to wash it and wear it again, but I did wash it, but I didn't want to wear it. I don't know, just it just reminds you of the burglary. They're my things that remind me of their crime, and that's something. So what you said to me in the basement while I was washing clothes, oh God, it'd be in a memoir. John and JQ Public, who may be listening. That was worse than the burglary. It looked like I was having a psychotic break, and I remember running outside, and it's nighttime, and I'm running trying to walk all the way to Jamaica Avenue to my guidance counselor office. When I realized, first, I'm 20 and pregnant, and Jamaica Avenue is closed. It's nighttime. I must have got the Farmers Boulevard by Little Giant. I'm like, she wouldn't be there. The office is closed. And I hadn't seen her since my teenage, guidance counselor. I hadn't seen her since my teenage years. Remember you took me to her? Because you know I was doing drugs? And I'm like, weed is not drugs. I'm telling the guidance counselor, I'm like, weed relaxes you. I don't need therapy because I smoke weed. And it's not a drug. Bob Marley said it's a plant. I saw the interview. And you and her were looking at me with the blank expression. Because, Mom, you didn't do any drugs. I said, and I'm a social smoker. It's not like I buy it. I only puff past when I'm in a cipher with my homegirls. I think my mother's overreacting and it's utterly ridiculous. Yeah, she was a big mama. Oh God, I loved her. She reminded me of Nell Carter. No, Nell Carter. And what was the court officer, female court officer, Night Court? Was it a TV show Night Court? She was like a blend of those two ladies. I forget her name. I wonder if she's on Facebook. I wonder if she's alive. Blessings be to her. She looked to be in her 30s then, like 35-ish. Heck, if I'm a teenager, well, you in your 30s as well? I digress. But anywho, I was running to her office to talk to her, tell her what you just said to me. And all I could look at you and say, "Thou shall not steal." Aren't you a Christian? I'm like, I don't have that power. If I had that power, first of all, they wouldn't let me have that power talking about your evil half sisters. If they thought for 1 minute that's what I was trying to do and implement, they would be over here in bunk bedding in your bedroom like y'all 6 in a room in Harlem back in the day, okay, growing up. They wouldn't let me have that power, and you just looked at me strangely and went back upstairs. And I'm yelling up the stairs, "Thou shalt not steal." Aren't you a Christian? Thou shalt not steal. Logic much? I couldn't believe, I just couldn't believe what you said. And I didn't cry yet. I had to stand there like, did she just say? And you came downstairs to say it. And you love when your children are being productive. And I'm washing clothes. You like when I'm working. You hate when I'm just sitting still and just idling. So I'm doing something productive, and this is what you say to me? But now I get it. Spiritual readings help me get what you were going through, and the chaos magic and whatever else allegedly your evil half-sister was doing to us. So I'm like, okay, that was conics. Yeah, when it don't make sense, it's conics, okay? But I still got to work through that forgiveness, because, and you always say words hurt worse than um physical pain, because physical pain to heal, and words will linger in a person's heart for decades. You ain't never lied. Yeah, well, the pen is mightier than a sword. You repeated that maxim too, but words hurt worse than a punch. And as a little kid, I'm like, no, the hell it don't. My big brother punched me. Are you sure? I'm sure. The punch will heal. Words will linger in your psyche for a long time. Um, but you will also say to that, don't absorb, don't internalize, don't. And I like that advice. That's those words stay with me too. So you had said some good words too. Don't observe. No, no, no. What they got now? Observe, don't absorb. But you would just say, don't um, internalize it. Don't internalize what they say. Do not wear that coat. People would project their insecurities onto you and want you to wear it like a coat. They want you to wear their insecurities like a coat. That's not how you relieve your insecurities. That's not how you heal them. Okay, they give you a coat that's not yours. Donate it to Goodwill. God's will. God knows best. Donate that coat. It's not yours. It's ill-fitting. Even if it does coat, I mean, even if it does fit, the coat still doesn't belong to you. It's not your style. Donate it. You know, the I like that analogy. That was pretty cool. If the coat fits, wear it. That's not true. If it's not your coat, you have no business wearing someone else's coat. And if it's not your style, it won't match your spirit. Donate it. Don't give it back to them, because now you're going back and forth. You know, not my coat, not your coat. Not you're going back and forth with the coat with them, and that's ridiculous. Just donate it. And I was like, I like this analogy, Mama. But so you said some beautiful things too. But the question is, I gotta forgive at age 7, 8, 20, and 30. Yeah, when I had that, found the courage to ask you why you took him back. And how old am I in 2022? That wedding was your idea with that god awful wedding planner who put the black fabric over the arch that I didn't ask for. That wasn't part of the color scheme. And according to the psychic reading, this is her example. I don't know how much money you and hubby and spent on his wedding planner. And the room wasn't even, and he knew it, because when I walked in the room, I just looked like, he was like, oh, all your mother had was $100 for the decorations. I said, but I offered you Michael's. I said, I'll go to Michael's and get things. And he didn't respond to that. And Dollar Tree and get, artificial flowers, to spruce it up. But he didn't respond. I don't know if he was doing hoodoo. I don't know what was going on. Oh, I do know, because I got readings, but whatever. But that god awful wedding planner was your idea. When I say we can just go in your backyard and save money. But yeah, the reader said if you gave him 5 G's, he only spent 3. I told her that room didn't even look like 3 G's. Just, oh God, Mama. So I have to forgive you for that too. That I don't know. And we were never gonna get married, because we studied what marriage is, what legal marriage is with the Moors. And then I mentioned Goldie Hawn and her beau, and you just gave me a blank expression. I want a wedding. So I knew that was for you. I don't know if you knew you were going, but you didn't want to pass away with not at least, pardon me, I'm parched, one of your offspring getting married. You're traditional, and I get it. But all that was your idea, and then you brought that up later. You and some of your offspring. Oh, mommy paid for that wedding with my husband's help. He took out a loan to give her, and it just, oh God. And you asked for our fiscal help when this was your idea. I'm like, why don't we just do it in the backyard, a barbecue thing? We're too up in age for bells and whistles anyway. Then we're new to town. We have no one to invite. We're here, new, and things were going on off of COVID and travel and gas prices. And so I'm like, I don't think my people gonna come down from New York. So let's just go in your backyard, bada bing, bada boo. And then the pastor, we did pay him, but after you passed away, he kept asking how many years apart we were. So I'm like, is this some hoodoo shit? On the first day he asked, we answered him, because he's in the living room, we're talking and trying to get things together for the funeral. But he came the next day, he asked the same questions. I done took journalism. I've been in the academy, law enforcement. I was taught on how to interrogate, and journalism teach you how to interview. And I'm sitting here, don't let the ditzy mask fool you. Not with the education. I was late for class, but I still passed them. Okay, I'm not saying this to him, but I'm thinking like he must think the ditzy frequency is real. It's real because of the air that's going on in my chart, but air is still intellect. Why is he asking the same questions 2 days in a, you're mourning your mom, but you sober up and you got to think. I'm looking at him like, you asked us this yesterday. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Oh, that was your idea. No, it wasn't. I'm like, is he gaslighting me? A pastor? I done took too many journalism classes. It wouldn't be my idea to divulge information like the academy. When you're interrogating, I'm not going to divulge information arbitrarily. What? No, I'm not. What? Do you know what my natal chart look like? I'm not divulging nothing arbitrarily in this context. No, what? Wanting to know how many years apart each one of us. Mom, I don't know about your pastor. I don't know. I don't know. Then the New York church people, Gloria came down. I shame Miss Gloria, but I don't blame them. Again, it was on the heels of COVID, that travel and just I don't know. Mom, I just think you gave too, and you were still tithing in New York when you moved down here. I'm like, you tithing at two churches? Well, I still want to support my New York family with the way they treat you, allegedly. Just you keep so much to the church, Mama. So much. Not just tithing the cash and the money, the fiat, but your time and just. I hope dedication transmute into something wonderful for you. For all people who really sincerely from their heart dedicate to organizations and groups, time and money. I volunteer for that piece of shit politician in Brooklyn. And donated money. You gave him $200, and he still violated me. Oh God. Oh, this forgiveness portal is so needed. Oh Jesus. I can't believe a Libra did something like that. I won't talk about him. Okay, anyway. I'm just thinking of people who volunteer and dedicate and your sweat equity and money, and you could still be dissed by the person you just. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I hope all sincere dedication transmutes into wonderful things for the person and or people who gave like that. Namely, you, Mama. You gave a lot, a lot. Borders, but you had that thing on your wall, that thing on post on your wall that says something in part, paraphrase. God doesn't care how many houses you had; He just cares how many people you housed in the houses you had. Homeless and another one. I think it was about three or four little quotes, paraphrase, but another one said, God doesn't care how many cars you had. He just care about how many people you helped with your car, how many people you gave a ride. And you just give people lifts, to work. I'm one of them, to the train station. You gave a lot of people a ride. You loaned your sister the car, indefinitely. People like, did she give it back to you with a full tank of gas? I won't echo how you answered that question, but it wasn't gossip. You just answered honestly. But yeah, so you helped a lot of people with your houses and your car, cars. Maybe that's why you have more than one car. You can loan a car out of. You were very blessed in that material sense. And we weren't millionaires, but you were very blessed. I don't know, you just didn't seem the sweat given, but it does tax you. You were beautiful in Harlem. We got the queens. You just look different. Not you're still beautiful, but I mean, Harlem, you fine. Foxy with my moxie. What Lauryn Hill said? Yeah, oh gosh. We could walk 3-4 blocks without a man talking to you. And I'm like, he don't see you with your kids? And Luke wasn't having it. He tried to buck up the grown men. You looking at my mom? Why are you looking at my mother? And just, yeah, you couldn't walk very far without some man stopping you. Just foxy lady. So many it's Harlem, 70s, all of them, many foxy women with afros and just beauty, bangles and hoops, and yeah, that was gorgeous ladies. Seventh Avenue on Sunday fashion shows, yeah, all tailored me. I digress. Okay, those are the ages I have to forgive. There's other stuff too. I'm working on it, Mama. In order to maintain and sustain my inner peace. I just mentioned what I have to forgive. Okay. 7, 8, 20. in my 50s. That wedding, thank heavens, our love was strong, is strong, and could sustain that terrible wedding. It was good parts. The when Shango was there, I say Shango, yeah, he was there. I say Shango. Number three, I think this thing has five. Let me see. It does. And oh Lord, I'm in 2 hours. Listen, free will. You can click off. Talking to my mama, trying to get through these questions. I don't mean to hold you. This is ideal for long trips on the road trip. Road. I don't know. I may. If I don't share this video, I may. But I get thumb fatigue trying to answer these things. My chubby thumb. So I said, let me go ahead and record it. They can click off. Anybody force somebody to listen to it? No shade, but I'm not, because I'm saying like, who's gonna sit through this? That's not my concern. My concern is getting this out of me. Okay, free will. Click off or stay on. Grateful to the ones that stayed on. You made it this far. Bliss and speed. Lavender, lavender, lavender. I love lavender. Mom, you ever know how lavender comes about? Oh my goodness! I was looking at something. It's a documentary on YouTube about abandoned coal field, coal mines, or when she said we just grow lavender. She said lavender can grow out of anything. Pop, I said that lavender's the hood then. Oh God, the way she was saying what lavender can survive and grow out of, and it's a plant that lavender, it soothes you and make you feel comfortable or soothing. It's a very soothing lavender, pure lavender essential oil and diffuser bedside. Oh, you sleep like a baby. I love it. Now I work for no company, ain't sponsored me saying, but I was like, that's how lavender's grown. Oh, Mom, I don't know if y'all, they say y'all got screens over there. Find a lavender video on YouTube, Mom. No, coal, it's not going to say lavender. It's going to say, they probably do got lavender videos. I don't know. I'm supposed to look them up. But I learned this, and these Caucasians go to the coal fields and try to sustain, is it coal? COAL, but is it a coal video? I can't think of, oh, Jesus. And this is not something I clicked on. You know how you have the auto play? You're looking at something, they give you another video, ain't got nothing to do with the video you just seen. YouTube used to be thebomb.com. Oh, I dropped my doggone vitamins. Talking about vitamins. Anyway, when you're looking at one video and they give you a video that has something to do with what you just was watching, or from the same channel, never mind. YouTube, I don't know why you got GMO that switched up. I don't know. But in some cases, you're happy because I would have never clicked on nothing about coal. It's something with coal when they bring up lavender. And I started hearing Little Kim Little Kim lyrics. I get musical downloads and TV show downloads, and I get downloads, yeah. I can't, the Cosmos, listen. But they talking about lavender. These are Caucasians. I start hearing Little Kim. I don't know. A big scoop, the young, off her knees. I don't know. I just started hearing her. If I remember, do you like lavender? I don't know why her lyrics downloaded in that moment looking at the screen when they was talking about the lavender. Then I heard Mary, her and Mary are friends. They both 11s, you know what I'm saying? 360, Capricorn, Cancer, 11. That's the number. I heard Mary's voice in that interview she did with Missy Salt from Salt and Pepper and Foxy Brown. When Mary's like, I could be butt naked, but I bet you I get home. I bet you I get home. And I just seen it as an analogy of returning home once you ascend. And I don't know if that's how Mary meant it. She was like, I don't care what I look like. I'm paraphrasing. I could be butt naked. I bet you I make it home. Mary. Mary, I already love you for how you complimented Lauryn Hill. And how you talked about the scar on your face and your mom. What you said about your mom to Oprah. I forgive her for everything and blame her for nothing. Those are the words that's going to carry me through this forgiveness journey, the forgiveness files. Yes. I forgive you for everything and blame you for nothing. Because your struggle is melanated FBA. Our struggle is it's no joke. I mean, people are like, the oppression Olympics. No, I'm not comparing my oppression to someone else's. I'm talking about the hell you go through being FBA. Other melanated beings around the world program that hate FBA. Everybody's programmed to hate FBA. FBA is programmed to hate FBA. But we only think about that's the thing. We're obsessively on other people's mind. But we don't think about other races. I'm speaking for the FBAs and the huddles and the ciphers I sit in, okay? We don't think about other races unless a racial incident come up. You're like, oh God, here we gotta go through this bullshit again, yet again. And you're analyzing it, you're praying for all our people to just, oh God. But on a daily basis, usually the mind is on bills, survival, food, we gonna cook. Is it something to cook? Your immediate loved ones, if it's in your heart. For me, is FBO, the FBA as well. And then if you're thinking about FBA, if you're thinking about someone else outside of your immediate home or whatever, it's usually other FBAs, for better or worse, negative or positive. So the world is obsessed with FBAs, but they gotta figure we're not obsessed with them because we're obsessed with each other. We must be the bomb.com. I don't know. It's not my ego. I'm telling you. We don't think about other races. We think about each other. Maybe it's the ley lines under the America. I don't know. New York is a vortex. It's definitely some. Nikola Tesla talked about the vortex of New York City, the boroughs. New York gets a lot of hate too. They treat New York like FBA. They're not just FBAs in New York, but they treating the whole city like an FBA. I'm like, well, why they hating on New York like that? I digress, Mama. You're a native New Yorker, so am I. All right, Mama. So people hate on New Yorkers. You taught me that when we travel. You was like, I don't know what it is. They think we're city slickers. We're not all city slickers. I'm as honest as they come. You are. You are. Yeah, you are. Did I finish two? I think I'm finished with two. What I gotta forgive you for those ages. I said the ages, and once that happened, I can obtain, maintain, and sustain inner peace. And I think I'll do it. I'll do it based on the hell you've been through. Yeah, it's just I don't know, and the alleged things your half sister did to us, allegedly behind the scenes through black magic. So it wasn't all you. It was Connix, Not that that's her name in the book, but you got to nix the con. If you're doing that, if you're violating someone that hadn't violated you, that's a con, a horrible caustic con. In any event, number three, how have I abandoned or silenced my inner child in the name of survival or being strong? What am I willing to do to live? I haven't abandoned my inner silence my. Well, I did because I was mute from age 0 to 7, but that's because I kept hearing children to be seen and not heard. So I'm like, I better be quiet and barely seen. I'm in front of the TV, okay, with snacks and my homework. You know what I'm saying? So let me just, And then again, once that silence came with reward, candy and cookies and stuff, I'm like, oh, this quiet thing is good. Okay, cool. So that's an incentive to be quiet. So I guess that's my answer. My inner child now, I sit with her. Yeah, I sit with her. Especially that voice of, I was punished quiet and I'm punished not quiet. You know what I mean? You could be hated for being quiet. But they used to call quiet people sneaky. And I'm like, that's not always true. Huh? So, I don't know. There's videos on introverted black women in the workspace. I'm like, who hates on introverts? It's just, ugh. So they hate you if you're extroverted black woman. And they hate you if you're introverted black woman. Again, it's a damn if you do, damned if you don't. It's really ridiculously sick. It is. You want to legislate someone's emotions like that. It's just absolutely crazy. People hate opinionated people, but they also hate quiet people. I don't know. The esoteric alphabet. It's either the esoteric alphabet or esoteric agenda. I looked at both videos, but I forget which one it is where this is said. Quiet people give the best advice. They do because they're the most observant. And when I was a little girl, I was very observant. My big eyes. Yeah, I was very observant. But I abandoned her in the name of survival. I got to protect her in the name of divinity. I miss her too. Just quiet and sweet. All she cared about was sweets, eating candy and TV, and homework and books. You would think anyone would be happy to have a quiet kid like that. I don't know. He was loving to me, more loving towards me in Harlem. I'm a little girl. And the museum trips in Coney Island, and you get me the cotton candy, yeah, and jelly apples and caramel apples, and oh gosh, yeah, I miss our Harlem years on the west side, especially. But I hold that dear and cherish it. But I abandoned her for survival, my inner child, yeah, and I reclaimed her also for survival, spiritual survival, in divine sense. I love her. I think that's why I like having an older man, because you his baby. I did the May December romance once when I was older than him, but I didn't go into. It's not in my mind. It's not sanely safe to go into baby mode when he's younger than you. 9 years my junior. Yeah, 29 and he was 20. Was newly divorced, and never mind. But that was the perfect relationship, perfect to the end. Yeah, 6 months of just wonderfulness, and if I didn't mention garlic, it'd be a perfect. Because I mentioned garlic and his mother intervening. I'm like, is the Bible anti-garlic? No, in the memoir, in the memoir. Of course, he gonna defend his mother with his Torah self, just handsome, looking like Mike Vick. I digress. But and I like the way I met him too. This is so cool. When the wrong number become the right number, Lord have mercy. But anywho, uh, back to you, Mama. Child, and in the name of survival and being strong. Yeah, and I reclaimed that little girl. I do. She just so innocent, just caring, or just delivering your Avon books when we got to Queens, and you would pay me. And okay, you work that side of the street. I'm gonna work this side, and oh gosh, just me and you, Mama. Just when things were good. Okay, what am I willing to do to live? I have no idea. Right now, I'm fighting lupus. I got to fight that to live. Okay, I don't want to fight. I don't import the war, but I'm trying to deal with lupus and fibromyalgia and all my other ailments, and take care of hubby. And what am I willing to do? Willing to do? I don't know. Because I eat healthy and bad. I still have a candy habit. I'm going through withdrawals now, and my cravings are specific. There's a specific candy I need. It's candy in the house, but I don't want it. I want what I want, so I have to order it. What am I doing willing to do to live? I want to say fast. I don't know. After 2.5 days, I seen the cave. I don't know. Fasting alone, I cave quicker. I'm fasting in a group. I don't want to disappoint them. So I last longer fasting with a group. Like I'm Daniel fasting in January. I'll say fasting. Yeah. That question at the end of number three. Fasting from candy and meat and dairy. When will I start? I don't know. But that's what I'm willing to do to live. If they mean like live in a physical husk or spiritually live in a more bloom life. But well, fasting can gift that too. Let me hurry up, Lord have mercy. Number four, Mama. How have I projected unresolved mother wounds onto myself, my children, and other women? I'm not consciously. See, I don't. I know not to trauma dump, consciously trauma dump. This is why I liked group therapy back when I had health insurance. I had regular therapy too, 1-on-one. And metaphysical therapy, that's you don't need insurance for that. That's usually cash. And New York was affordable. It's usually $20 to get in the door. It was potluck. You bring a dish. You know what I'm saying? Most of these no pork. Oh, Ashe Nafisa. I love her dance instructor, Nafisa Sharif. She had them at her house in Brooklyn back in the days. She was like, don't bring pork in my house. I don't eat it and I don't have it in my. She was serious. We was like, oh no, we won't bring pork in here. So a lot of metaphysicians back then, a lot of therapy, and it's usually she was more than $20 though, and that's fine. You know, your fee is your fee. You don't haggle with spiritual prices. I learned that. Yeah, Scott said that too. Scott Cunningham. He said when spiritual things don't haggle. If you can't afford it, just walk away. You can't afford it. Yeah. And I don't know, for some reason, Pusha T, this is years ago, it's a video with him buying a piece of jewelry. And the Asian guy, and he wanted the old school Dookie rope chain. I don't know what the Asian guy said about pricing. And Pusha T was like, I don't haggle. You know, we don't haggle. And I went right back to Scott Cunningham's book. I was like, he said don't haggle. I forget what book he said it in. I got them all. I'm like, oh, is that something spiritual? No, no. I guess a spiritual person makes something with their hands. It's ashe. This is the price. They let them do that. They have the Flash Friday sale or the merchant that's bargain that day. I know some people will give you a sale if it's their birthdays, their mama birthday, something they'll do a sale, but that's for the merchant to do. You're not supposed to go back and forth with a spiritual purchase. In readings, no, no, that's an exchange of energy. And I do readings. You'd be extremely exhausted when you get off that phone. Oh Lord have mercy. So no, no, yeah, you don't haggle with no spiritual price readings. I digress. How did I even get here? Unresolved mother. I don't. Do I project unresolved mother wounds? I think I do. Yeah, hubby took a picture of me. I said, "Oh my God, I look like my mother." It scared me, Mama. Oh Lord, it scared. It looked like you. I sent it to my siblings and people who know us. They say, "Oh my God, you look like your mother." I'm like, "Isn't it frightening?" People say that to us our whole life, but you and I didn't see it. But we would sit on the edge of your bed and look in the mirror, like people say we look like, but I don't see it. I'm like, I don't either. Then we would hug and you sort of dance in the mirror side to side. That was a cute moment too when we're getting along. But we just never really seen it. But they did. Today, I see it. Now I see it after all these years. I'm like, I see it. I look like I have your elbows. Oh God, Mom. DNA don't lie. DNA does not lie. Oh Lord. Oh. And not saying that you didn't age gracefully and was still a cutie patootie, but I don't know. To me, I just looked like me back then. But now, oh God. I don't want photos. But yeah, how have I projected unresolved mother wound? Oh, how I projected on myself. Oh, just don't. I didn't want to. This comes up a lot in therapy. Put a man before my kids, so I didn't want to do that. Mm-mm. Although they went to live with you and their dad, but that was your idea too, to leave them with you and get out your house and go get on my own feet. When you're on your physical feet, I'll hold them. I'll take care of them. I'll hold them down. That's my verbiage. Hold them down. You just speak the street vernacular. I remember once you said the N word. We was quoting to a guy, and we all looked at you. We've never even heard you say the N word. You just didn't do hood speak. Not that the hood speak is bad. You just, I don't know, Mama, you a unicorn. Raised up in the hood and don't speak hood and don't curse. Straight unicorn. Unicorn, Mama. But anywho, but on to myself. I just didn't want to be like you insofar as putting any man before my kids. You having a good credit score, yeah. I want a dad. Having a good career, yeah. I want a dad. See, I looked up to you in other areas: career, education, good credit. But I avoid Christianity because you had me in a church. And one pastor I was cool with, I liked him. I loved him. Yeah, I shaded his soul. His wife, just beautiful people. But still, I didn't want Christianity because that was you. So just trying to avoid the things that you embraced. So that could be the unresolved projection there, mother wound. On my children, you was emotionally available because you was always busy. Church, work, Amway, Avon, some other MLMs. You just was constantly busy, but you kept us busy too. The Girl Scouts, the Brownies, dance school. But it's not a bad. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea. In your mind, if you're constructively busy, you'll be okay. Especially with all, is that a scripture? But a lot of church people said the devil's mind. What is it? No. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. Oh God, they said it in church. The church people said it outside of church. I heard that so much growing up. You also said it, not as much as the most elders said it, but I think that stuck with you. Let me keep my kids busy so the devil don't enter their mind because they idle. So I don't know. So my point is, you were emotionally available, but your mom was emotionally available. So it's a cycle. From what you told me, it's a cycle. So I was emotionally unavailable to my babies, and Back then, I was like, well, they like their dad better anyway, so go on and be with your dad. But that's just was ego and hurt and pain. And you also telling me I don't want anybody that don't want me. But that was stuck with me not just for romance connections, but anything, friendships, anything, co-workers. You can out me. I'm fine. I was raised with the ethos of you don't want me, I don't want you either. It's illogical to want what don't want you. That's single white female tease. I don't know, thank you. So I'm very thankful you raised me with that theme. I don't want anybody that don't want me. Period. Got it. And it's stuck. It ain't going nowhere. I'm still like that. I handled rejection well because you repeated that to me my whole life. Also, Christians, rejection is God's protection. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. A red light, a reaction from a person, you could be really dodging a red flag. Well, it's a red flag, the red light, but you could be dodging a bullet. Yeah, I wish people would handle rejection better. But I think, well, I know from Psych 101 class, it reactivates all the times they've been rejected in their whole life. Like it's cumulative, but it shouldn't be. It's just a red light. There are green light personalities, and there's red light personalities, and there's yellow light personalities. Don't sweat. This is from you, mommy. Also, the Forrest Gump, when he said, "I just felt like running," and when I started the writing thing, and literary agents would say, "Okay, well, what inspired you to write?" No, who's your target audience? I'm like, I didn't think of that. What do you mean you didn't think of your target? I just never thought of a target. I just felt like writing. I was repeating. I felt like writing. Like Forrest Gump was repeating. He just felt like running. But you're really getting, it's an outlet. You're getting things out. And there was like, you still need a target audience. You have to know who that is. I'm sitting, this is back before the internet as we know it. I'm in her office like, you do? Never mind. But with you, the whole Forrest Gump thing, I just felt like running. He is another part of that movie where he told Jenny, I just did what you told me to do, Jenny, run. And I didn't say it to you, but I would think it every time you kept, I don't know, towards the end, you seemed like you was haranguing me when I was there for you, but you wanted me to be more there. I'm like, Mom, I'm sick too. I don't understand. And then you raised me to stay away from people that don't like you. And Mom, I know you don't like me. And I hear Forrest Gump saying, I'm just did what you told me to do. Stay clear of people that don't like you. You raised me with that ethos, with that theme. Steer clear of people that don't like you. And you would keep repeating, what do you mean I love you? Mom, like and love is different. And you told me that. And your psychology professor said it in class that like and love are two different frequencies. I digress. But I wasn't staying away to hurt you. I was staying away because I was nursing my own ailments as well. You know how Tony Braxton said sometimes I can't even get out of bed? That's real. Lupus inflames and zaps you. You just, oh, Mom, you were really disgusted when you went in physical. But yeah, I think I projected onto myself by just staring clear of people I care about and people I don't care. Just and I used to really be social in New York. That's once you leave your hometown. Yeah, I don't know. Age and ailments make you stay home. Yeah, aging and ailing will make you a homebody to book cabin fever central. Okay, so yeah, I steer clear. It's clear. It's like a stare. Steer. My children too. Just I love them dearly. I do. They grown now, but just distance. Yeah, I keep my distance to keep the peace. And if you're a black sheep, you keep your distance because people tend to blame things on a black sheep. I'm like, okay, let me stay away from these entities. They could blame the black sheep, but the black sheep ain't even there. it's, whew, yeah, it's like into racism in that regard. Black people are, how racists blame black people for all the ills of the world, but yet it's a white man's world. So if they rule the world, they usually gonna give us the power to ruin the world. They gonna give black people the power to ruin something that they rule. Oh Lord. From videos, the current sitting president allegedly said black women asked him to come to their city to with the National Guard. Is what he said. 90 is a percentage that was added. 92% of black women asked him. I'm like, how would they have access to him to ask? How do you get access? You have his email. Well, where's the receipts that they asked you to do this? 92%. Oh my Lord. But then the comment section, he just need to put a black face to be the blame for whatever he plans on doing in these cities. Yeah, you got to put a black face in front, you know, allegedly. You see the movie No Way Out, when that Caucasian guy in the office said, we need, he didn't say black, but he said, we need a face for this event. We need a face. They need someone to point the finger and blame. Tony Montana done told us, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one you point your finger at. And you want to blame. Paraphrase. Yeah, that's Black Sheep's culture. So yeah, I would think number 4, my only projection is distance. I don't even think that's a bad thing. I don't project my insecurities on anyone. I'm a writer. Writers just write out insecurities down. I don't need to project them because I'm going to write them down. So, yeah, distance. But I don't think any sane person should have an issue with someone being distant. Especially if you don't like them, you don't, you know what I mean? Only predators prey on people they don't like. So yeah, I would say distance. Some predators prey on people they like too, but according to the research. Anyway, mama, let's go on to number 5. Lord have mercy. Number 5, reflect on how you tell. Reflect on how you tell, see, or share your mother wound story. Oh, all over the place. Like my life. Bobby Hemmett spoke well on Chaos Magic. I love you. Ashe, Bobby Hemmett, we met to East West Books. One of the best moments of my life. Ashe, Bobby Hemmett. Sagittarian King. But he spoke like it's a good thing. I'm like, is he sure? Because this chaos magic I'm going through that was sent my way, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord. I can't even show the ladies me, mama. I can't. They call it face rights, like they really want to see you. Well, Robin wanted to see me before the group. I sent her a video of me. I'm like, oh yeah, I sent a video. Good. Who I could show her me. It's not working. Sagittarius is Ochochi, is the hunter. I was like, but I sent you the video. She was like, so? She's a Sag from Brooklyn, mama. Lord have mercy. But she has an Aquarius. What am I telling? Never mind. Never mind. I'm telling her natal chart. But something in her natal chart, like, I lean on that, hoping that that'd be enough to give her patience before seeing me. I'm like, I'll be back to Brooklyn soon. I'm going to go to my auntie. She'll see me in the flesh. I got to get back home soon. But I don't know if she's... Well, fire can be impatient. Never mind. Never mind, mama. I love her. Love her daily. I'm like, why is this a thing? I look like D with no teeth. This is before D passed away. Picture D with no teeth. I'm a toothless, what do they call me? A toothless tiger. Yes. D, Danielle Spencer with no teeth. She's not trying to hear it, Mom. I don't know what it is, Mom. I don't know what that is. I'm not showing my no teeth. I'm not putting my face out here. I could wear a mask, but then that may not be enough. We'll take the mask off. I'm not taking my mask off, ladies. Now, either wait till I get some dentures. Jesus, I love them though. I love the healing group. So, the point is, the chaos magic allegedly sent my way from your half sister. Not mine, allegedly. Psychic readings. Don't blame me. Blame the psychic reader. Okay. I don't know if you want to blame them. All right. Real deal, Holyfield. Yeah. So, my toothless state and the way the house look, I'm not showing them this. I need to spare them of seeing such. Okay. Oh, and I look forward to the therapy, but I'm like, are they gonna start this? It seemed like they stay there. They move on to the next topic soon, but Mama, it seems like they stay with that face rights. Like, I'm like, what? And they do a little exercise, and I can't participate because I would imagine you have to show yourself to participate. Mm-mm. But I did that in a convent in Maryland with a former friend turned pastor, and we're executing. I gotta do a friendship video. She's a pastor, and and she invited me, and that thing was $250 something odd dollars. I was like, I ain't got the kind of money. She was like, and she's very persuasive. Oh, you got it. Sure, you have it. I'm like, no, I don't. Why I found that money? I'm like, how did she know? But you had to piecemeal the money. Never mind. 2011 in a convent in Maryland, and they had the silent, not silent therapy, it's a silent retreat. Because I was going to do 10 days of silence upstate New York, another convent with the nuns. I got that idea from the Odd Couple. They had an episode where they were monks. Funny as all outdoors. But I'm like, this is a real thing. And my astrology teacher, Mama Oz, she was like, yeah, 7 days of silence, 10 days of silence. I'm like, word? But if you talk, you leave. So I get scared. Um, Des was like, does the security put you out in silence? Like, are the monks silently putting you out? I'm like, from what I understand, they put you in a van to the bus station, take the bus back to the boroughs. But he's like, is that all done in silence? It was a kiki. I'm like, I guess. But yeah, if you talk, you gotta go. And I'm like, I am very loquacious. How can I make it 7 days? And I done wrote a book, 7 Days of Silence. Very sexy book in a cabin with a handsome man and never you mind. That's why I like No Good Deed. I'm like, this is giving me 7 days of silence. Of course, my book has no kids in it. I hope don't steal. Not my fast girls. Y'all won't steal. I hope not. But I'm talking John and JQ Public. If I see a book like this on the market, I'll be so pissed. I'm like, oh, you heard my video, didn't you? My audio video. Well, is this a podcast? Somewhat. Well, you can't write it like me. Unless you're a unicorn, or you're a unicorn. Or you're Hioka Empath. You still can't write it like me. My fingerprint will be all over my prose. My syntax is, dope. I don't want to brag. But any event, mama. But yeah, so I finally went to the convent in Maryland, 2011. And now how did I get it? What's this question? Why did I get there? Let me see. Your mother. Oh, you had to do the mother wound story there. And this was a healing retreat for people, for women who had never mind, it being a memoir. And the pastor, who was my former neighbor and friend, 10 years older than me, looked up to her like a big sister. I'm like, I could have avoided this whole thing, and would we still be cool? I didn't ask. And she's a pastor who does therapy. I couldn't believe she just was different. Well, at that time, I hadn't seen her since the 90s. Never mind. But we used to write each other when I moved to the Poconos. Never mind about that. But we did that psychodrama in person. She sat her chair in front of you. And in that moment, mommy, she was you. And cold and icy like you. I'm like, is she really doing this role here too well? I digress. But they do that in the portal. And I'm like, I guess I could never participate. Ain't nobody calling on me, no. I'll gag if one day somebody call on me. But they won't, because they not on the road. I can't come on a camera. Hmm. But I'm still nervous somebody might. Knowing I can't come on camera. Every weekend I'm nervous. Like, I hope no one calls on me. Please, Jesus. Because I can't come on camera. If they gonna see this house. Am I no teeth? Uh-uh. No way. Whew. But so far so good. Ain't nobody calling on me. Thank God. But it's cool. I've already did the exercise back in 2011. Anyway, love. Oh, what did I answer it? Okay, reflect on how you tell or see your story. Oh, in the book. I'm a writer. Yeah, that's how I reflect on the page. I sit here and type for hours and hours till my butt hurt and I go get something to drink. I hope I answered that right. I reflect on it. Do they want me to vocally reflect? I don't know. Or asking, how do you reflect? How do you tell? Oh, yeah, in the book. Yeah, my prose, my writing. That's how I do it. Choose one new. Choose one new way. These questions got part A, part B, part C, like Medicare. Never mind. Choose. No, mom. You know your baby quirky. Quirky is all outdoors, indoors too. Okay, choose one new way to respond to the pain or dis-ease. That's probably the lupus, the fibromyalgia, or God knows what else your half sister allegedly did. Period. Psychic reading. The pain or dis healed. Ashe ancestors. Yeah. Respond to the pain or dis-ease of your story rather than react. I'm not an angry soul, so I don't react with anger. Who would believe me? My ex-husband and ex-boyfriend's not y'all. Okay? Not y'all. There's romance is a whole nother level. I gave you my mind, body, and soul, and ideas, and you, nigga, nada. Okay. So I don't have this. Let's just my man. I don't have anger. I don't. But it's such an angry planet. So much conflict. There's some. See, my natal. I'm an astrologer. Best teachers, Kepler. Shout out to Kepler. When we was on the phone, I'm like, why is it only online? I want to come to Seattle. I want to come to Washington State. I've never been there. He like, well, you still can visit Washington State, but this here lesson is online. I'm like, I digress. Paraphrase. Um, I don't have the angry gene unless you my man. Because you just put too much in love. You invest too much. I think because I play friendship safe. If you trying to, because friendship should be friendly. So when it feels like it's something else, I get the hell on. I get ghost. Like, what is she trying to extract? What is she trying to pull from me? What is going on? I'm respectful and friendly. I don't come to your house empty-handed. I read etiquette books. I know to bring a bottle of wine or dessert from a bakery. I know to bring something when I come to your house. So I got the etiquette books on lock. I'm doing this right. I'm friendly. I'm respectful. I don't impugn or probe into your business, whatever you divulge. I even asked, do you want feedback or are you just venting? Because I don't want to start giving feedback if you just vent. I'm trying to do the friendship thing here by the book. And you're still discontent. It's time to get ghost. I gotta go. Peace. What did not Nafisa teach us? I sever in love. Sever in love. Part ways. So I don't think I had the angry gene. No, unless you my man. Okay, my offspring. I know, because mommy was mean to me. Yeah. Well, Oprah said I wasn't mothered well. You tend to mother how you were mothered. Mommy, I know you didn't, because grandma drank and smoked and cussed and cut and fight and just kicking ass and taking names. I go to Harlem. She's Harlem legend. Which my mom, I know you're very different than your mom in that aspect. Okay. Well, you was beating my ass. How she just maybe not how she beat in the memoir. But anyhow, mommy, thank you for stopping after you seen Roots though. Okay. Kote Kente Mediacha. Okay, so I don't have the angry gene, so I don't respond. And I'm not up in no passion. Again, I know my natal chart. Mars rules anger. I know what Mars is doing in my natal chart. So I'm not gonna betray the cosmos by going against myself, by doing something that's not. Now I could have a Mars transit. So you gotta know if your Mars is retrograde or is your Mars direct. I'm not disrespecting my cosmic blueprint. No. So Mars, I know what Mars is doing. If I'm angry, it's with my man. Because again, I know what Mars is doing in my natal chart. If he deserves the anger, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, fear, yes. Now, do I project fear? What would this reflect on? Rather than fear. Yeah, fear of wasting love. I don't want to project love on somewhere or someone that don't deserve it. And I don't believe in that saying love ain't love till you give it away. J. California Cooper, Ashe. She said she wrote a book, Some Soul to Keep. You give away your love, what's that you're gonna have left over for self-love? Iyanla said give from your overflow. So I don't project my fear. I write about them, but it depends on how the person is qualifying in fear here. If they're saying, well, you won't get close to anyone anymore because you've been hurt before, that's fear. Yeah, and it's fear and wisdom. And I'm gonna call it wisdom, not fear. Risking your heart on somebody that's going to crush it. No, thank you. Whew. Or rage. I don't have rage. I don't have the rage gene. Both of my parents are stoic. Mommy has been enraged with me, but I mean, out in the world with, and I don't compete with others. I'm lazy. Again, I know what Mars rules competition. I guess you got to know yourself cosmically. Cosmology is my thing since elementary. Todd Bridges, I need to know his birthday. I'm in the library. Anything on top, you know when he was born, the librarian, older Caucasoid lady. She's like, well, he's a celebrity. Is he? Yeah, yeah. She look at the magazine. Mm-mm. Him. I got to the library and I started taking out astrology books, which were much better in the '70s. Matter of fact, I only like old astrology, but I don't trust nothing new. Shout out to Dr. Yafa Bay. She's quoted as having said, "If it's new, it ain't true. If it's new, it's not true." I love her, Libra. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So I typically like old books or older books as it pertains to cosmology. But yeah, Mars was competition. I don't compete. My natal chart, my natal Mars won't let me compete. Even when I was a cutie patootie, according to what guys told me. I, I just competition is masculine. Unless you, I know there's women in sports, but unless you're in sports and there's a desired prize, I don't compete. What would be the prize? The man, him? I'm not discounting a good man, a righteous man. No, but a good righteous man wouldn't want you competing for him. Either he wants you or he doesn't. You know what I mean? I I, mm, I won't disrespect my natal chart, so I don't. And then the aunt who hates me. I ironically, she's the one who taught me about catty women. When I was in high school, in junior high school, she taught me don't trust no catty B. You know, she was just teaching me about cattiness. I ironically, her sign allegedly rules cattiness. It rules women. It's the mistress of the zodiac. So I was all ears, like really. So, competition is sports. It's a sport. It's masculine. It's Aries. It's Mars. No, I'm not fancying in any frequency that's not for me to do. And my natal chart tells me that's not. I just, mm-mm. Have I been cheated on? Yes, yes, but I don't go into competition mode. No, you wanna, sling your ping elsewhere, then that's where you go. That's where you go. Now he wants you ever. He wants you really bad because you're cutting him off and you're serious. You're like, no, no, no. I don't do the I don't knowingly do no triangle, love triangle. Even though a trine in astrology is a beautiful. It make you lazy too. Trines can make you lazy, but it's 120 degrees. Degrees 120. Maybe Erica Badu said that. Yeah, I'm not playing them type of games. I don't because mommy, you always have food. I would say I don't even compete for food, and I'm a foodie. I would. Mommy, you taught me be consequence oriented. So if I'm competing, professional sports teachers that both parties have to agree to play the game. They get NBA. They both agreed to play the game, and they want a championship. There's sponsorship. There's a salary, money. There is a incentive to play the game. So I'm gonna play a game when there's no incentive. My ego don't do that. Leo rules the ego, and I know what Leo is doing and what it's not doing in my chart. Aries rules the head on the physical body with a Leo, where the ego is housed. Ego and Leo, they're both three letters, and that just dawned on me. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Egos, the downside of the ego is too stingy for me to be a slave to it. I'm not into short-term gratification, and that's all the ego got to offer. No, thank you. I'm not doing it. Mm-mm. No, no, no. No, no, no. The healthy ego tells you to wash your ass. Oh, and my cousin, can you say ASS on YouTube? I don't know. It's not monetized. YouTube, please leave this alone. Do you see any audience in that daggone chat? But now, it's no traffic here. I should be able to. It ain't ASS in the Bible. I don't. Wait, describe the donkey. I don't. Listen, there's no traffic over here. Please leave this audio be. Well, I'll download it. I always have it in my personal stash. But good lord. But anywho, I'm trying to think of the healthy ego. Yeah, taking showers, grooming yourself. That's a healthy ego. Self-respect. But the unhealthy ego, constantly playing games when there's no prize to be netted. No, no thank you. But the prize for them is stroking their ego. No. Does stroking your ego pay your doggone bills? I can't. All right, so that's it. 5. That's it. I don't have anger. Unless it's my man and he got a pocket or something. Or fear. I have fear, but I put that on in writing. That's my prose. And because and you have haters I never wronged. Or black sheep do. God. Or Hioka empaths do. Or FBA has got haters we had. How you looking at these videos about Japan, blacks in Japan, Irish, Ireland, Scotland? Ladies, you seen the men in Scotland? Oh God, I don't know why I thought about it. She told me about the Caucasoid, but Samantha from SEX in the City. She was like the hot Scot at Charlotte's wedding. Never mind. Let me tell you, Halloween, Mama. Remember I ran upstairs scared, waking you up, be like, what's wrong with you? No, Halloween Eve, mischief night. I was gonna walk to Hollis and Franny Little for a hero sandwich. Do you remember that corner? Oh God! And they had the chicken wings. That Chinese restaurant around the corner had the best chicken wings. I was gonna give you 4 wings and a hero sandwich, right? And you like, there's food in the house. You need to cook and save your money. Mom, I'm getting ready, going downstairs, and the big picture frame window in the living room. Thank God the living room, the whole downstairs is dark. But I'm in the living room, putting on my little jacket. It's October. And I wouldn't even walk that far at night as a grown adult. I'm a teenager now. You know why teens are fearless? They're ruled by Aries and Leo. Aries and Leo rules minors. It does. I would never walk that far at this age, and I'm grown, granny grown. So I'm getting ready to go get my sandwich and for chicken wings. Did I call it in? Because once you become a regular, they know your voice and things like that. If I called it in and didn't make it there, forgive me, y'all. I know this is the 80s. Just forgive me, Lord. I hope I didn't call it in. I was so shook. Coming down the street, there were brothers. I don't know if they're siblings, DNA siblings, but Nagas. What is YNs? I'm so old school. Is that young Nagas? These were young Nagas, maybe 19, latter teens, and they had their stick and they had on kilt skirts. No, it wasn't no fruity rainbow nothing. Not that I could detect. No, alpha soldiers. I would say about 27 to 30 of them. It was a leader. I'll never forget him. When Karen Hunter wrote in her book, Stop Being Niggardly. Shout out to Karen Hunter. Karen, you gonna publish my books? Mm-hmm. I bought Stop Being Niggardly. And not that you had to, remember our conversation in Facebook back in, what was that, 2010? I know I lived in New York back then. Never mind. Karen Hunter, shout out to Karen Hunter, okay? But in there she said, have you ever seen a fat person lead in charge of a war? I'm paraphrasing. And I'm chubby. And I love my LLBSs. My LBSs. Just say LLBS. No. I've made peace with my pounds. I love my fluff, my Buddha belly. I love her. I have to. It's the one wish that came true and sustained in the memoir. But this is gonna cut off 3 hours, Lord. But that they were fun. I don't know, it was an aberration. Walking down the block, he was chanting something in a different language. And he was hitting that stick, and the men behind him, the young men, was like, fine. And now that there's black Scots, let me tell you something who think we're FBAs are uneducated. No, we're self-centered because you know how the world is obsessed with FBAs? Again, FBAs are obsessed with FBAs. We have each other on our line. Blame the Board of Education. Blame the school system that didn't teach it. How about that? Or the alleged racist media that didn't put y'all in front of us. No, hip-hop started with us. You think that the FBAs feel offended talking about, they're not educated. We are about hood shit. We know about FBA shit, okay? All right. We're not obsessed with the world. The world is obsessed with us. Look at Naya Sim. And there's a guy, he's from Trinidad. He got blue hair, and I can't think of, Peapod Piv. Peapod Cove, a cave. You'll find him. He's doing all those videos with the Ireland and the Scottish. Ladies, they fun. Let me hit a number. Well, I'm married. I know. Forget me. Papa, I don't mean it. Papa, you up? I just want to see y'all in person. So if I was single, Tony Daly, next trip, Scotland. Tony, look at the brothers in Scotland. Oh, God. I'm like, but are they Oreo cookie brothers? They just, Are they into pork, the other white meat? I mean, that didn't mean that. Okay, are they into pink hue? If not, sisters don't go there. No. Now they date melanated sisters, or some date both. Yeah, investigate, ladies, before you go to Scotland. I don't know if this is going to cut off. All right, peace, y'all. Peace.